The Charlotte Conservation Commission will now come to order. We can't do any business at this point. We don't have a quorum.
No, Ron's on.
We do.
Ron's online.
He's on now?
Yep.
Very good. Okay, we're in business. Right now, public inquiries. Nothing. Approval of meetings?
Wait. Public inquiry,
Yes, there's a no.
That's the
Days there, the hunting,
no hunting?
just need to.
is the
inform-
gentleman from 66? Were you gonna talk during public inquiry
Well, I
or?
don't know how to, when I should talk about this, that the water that from up on the hill ran through my property as white water.
What's that? Is that?
That
Can you
particular one,
your
He has a
address and the
complaint
record,
about
please?
Amazon.
66 Selfridge Road,
so Amazon's up
Amazon.
on here tonight, so.
Yeah, but not for
That's not
that,
the no hunting thing.
No,
but that's not for that purpose. So Amazon is here for 40 for a different project. He's just a public inquiry regarding
Okay,
Amazon
so-
runoff. So maybe he should speak now.
Yeah, we'll listen, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. So just state your name, please, and your address.
okay, Joseph Clark from 66 Selfridge Road. On December 23rd, I had water running through my property, cutting paths. I followed it up. It was up on Amazon property. There was a pond of some sort between two mounds,
Where's your property?
66. I'm on Selfridge Road.
169.
So I'm the gray house, the third one down from their entrance on 169. And I followed the path of the water, and up on top where their construction is, there was looked like a pond of water, overflowed and just ran down the hill. I have video of it if you'd like to see it.
Have you mentioned it to?
I was up to the site and told them that day about it. And then nobody's contacted me about fixing the problem or what's going on. That's why I'm here today.
Was there damage caused by it?
There's a rut running right through my property.
Yes, Lee Blackwell from Zone, he can address it if you're done speaking.
Yeah.
Okay, Lee, go ahead.
How are you? My name is Lee Blackwell. I work for Blue Water Property Group representing the developer. My apologies. I was unaware of any influence on your property. It's the first I'm hearing about it.
It was our first time today.
Yeah, well, like I said, I went up to the site, let them know, told them my name, my address,
Okay,
showed them a video of what I saw. They went to take care of it. I went home. And then I'm waiting for somebody to come back and say, okay, what happened? And no one's come back to me at all.
I'd be happy to give you contact information, circle back after this meeting, and see what we can do to understand the situation, see your video, and help prevent that from happening in the future. Our apologies, just unaware.
Is that satisfying? Joseph, thank you.
I live at 62 Southbridge Road, and Lee's familiar. So I had conservation out there on my property because the water's coming off of their property right through my yard. And I got videos of every time it rains, it builds up. They built a slope up there, and that slope is shearing off. They got silt barriers, wattles, trying to prevent the water, but water only runs downhill. And it's running into my yard, and that comes in so bad every time it rains. It's like a waterfall, and I got videos of every time it rains. But I went to conservation, and they're like, well, that's not wetlands, that's not us. And it's because of your property, not theirs. They built this enormous slope in the back. Now I'm getting the runoff.
Where's your property, Steve?
62, I'm the first house next to Amazon.
Okay.
But
Has it continued since?
I've got
Graves
every
Engineering?
storm, I've got every picture.
So
we all of them.
we
Cause
did,
that happened when I was on.
we have
leave.
been there with Graves Engineering from planning board because they hold the stormwater permit for Amazon. And there was a report generated from that, and since then, nobody has had any more complaints.
Correct, because you said that it was my problem.
Yeah, I know. No problem.
Because you said the Graves report found that my grading in my yard, I changed that I created the problem.
That's what the report said, not you.
Yes, that's
Okay,
right. That's
okay.
what the report said,
Okay.
which I never changed the. grade in
Angela,
my
have
yard.
you been aware of that or?
I had no clue about
Yeah,
him that
Have you
happened.
got pictures with you? No, huh?
that was
Yeah,
during your 3 months.
They're here?
maternity leave.
No, I got them on my phone.
You've got them on your phone.
Yeah, I can print them. Definitely.
Oh, can
So
you
we're-
send them to me? Before you leave, can you send something in?
Yeah.
Yeah, cause we are the stormwater
Yeah.
authority, even, I mean, planning board, yeah, they have their site plan. But we are the stormwater authority that investigates and does the stormwater violations, especially if they're impacting other properties.
So we were aware of, water influence on Steve, we reacted to that. I guess promoted Graves Engineering to come out, take a look, investigate the situation. I was unaware of any further stuff. that may have
Further, yeah.
happened because-
Well, the reason why I haven't contacted anyone is because I went in and Graves' report said it was my fault. And it was nothing to do with you, and it had no bearing on conservation that I had to contact.
Because it hadn't gone to the wetland, correct?
Yes.
But as Angela
It
said.
wasn't a wetlands issue, it was a water runoff issue onto my.
And we looked at it from a water runoff perspective, and we did do some changes to help stiffen that area up. Again, the report did reference some things on your property, but that said, we have an open dialogue. I haven't heard anything since that last walkthrough.
But the reason why is because of the report saying that there was.
I respect what has happened with the folks here. I want to mitigate that to our ability. But if I don't know about it, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And
Were you,
so-
were you
So we
saying,
can assume that this will be addressed between now and our next meeting?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I'll follow right up with them. We've been, we try and be good neighbors here. We've been respectful of the complaints. If we know about the complaint, we'll address the complaint. In this instance, we've had a couple of issues, with Steve that have been addressed. The conversation
Just
stopped.
This is Ron Royer here. Is this the first we hear of this? Is this the first time we hear about this? The board?
First time I've heard it.
Anybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir, on.
23rd, I was
This is the first time? Well, you know, when they have a construction site like Amazon has, things change. It's a big, at that magnitude of work they're doing. So yes, I would think that you would need at least a week or two to elaborate on this.
I stand here before the board and say that I will address this issue tomorrow. As soon as I know what it is, I'll go identify it, we'll get out there. We'll work with Concom to have a plan that makes sense. I'll work with Paul Martin, does this make sense? Make sure it's in compliance with the
Is that,
the board's
it sounds like a
expectations.
stormwater issue, right?
yeah,
I might make a motion to put this on the next meetion and
yeah,
let
we'll
the-
follow up the next meeting.
and let the board check this out in between now and then.
I don't think we need a motion on it.
We don't need it, we'll follow
I'll
up,
second that motion. I'll second that motion.
We'll just follow up on that, right?
yeah.
Yeah, do you want us,
I'll share my contact information with this young man. Steve has my contact information. We don't run from problems, we try and address the problem, so.
I have
Yeah.
meetings all day tomorrow. Monday's a holiday, but I would be happy to come out with you and be both of your properties sometime next week.
Well, it's gonna rain. If it rains heavy Friday, you'll see it coming.
So what-
on there.
Understanding this right now, we're making
It's gonna rain, that's the time to go.
Yeah.
The time to go.
Yeah, I have no trouble.
We're closed on Friday, so we're trying to book something for next week.
What time?
I can call here and we can discuss that so we can move forward.
Could you give me a call too, so I can? go up
Yeah.
there, Put them all
Everybody
together?
be there. Yep, so.
I'm happy to say for the board's record, I'm happy to share my cell phone number. I'm on site most days. and I'm available to answer any questions that anyone. My cell phone number is 860-876-3169. My name is Lee Blackwell with Blue Water. I will share my contact information with this young man.
Yeah.
So he passed my number. I do. Oh, it's Lee.
Okay? Okay, schedule for the hearings.
Wait, the no hunting thing.
Which one? Approval of
Can you hear
minutes?
me?
No, still public inquiry, the request to post the no hunting on Stafford Street.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Is that the area where the scouts are going?
Yes,
That's town land,
under the care and custody of the Conservation Commission.
but it's not a land trust. Just conservation.
Yeah, we manage it.
So if we do that, you need to legally put the signs every, I don't know how many feet, but every 100 feet or 500 feet, whatever it is.
Did you check with the town manager on that?
Yeah,
Yeah, we sent.
Yeah, I sent the
His
letter.
response.
but you have to put the signs.
And is legal without?
Yes.
A bylaw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Well,
I have
without
my
the
doubts.
signs, it's not enforceable, you know?
it's not enforceable, right? You can put the signs up,
Well, yeah,
but you can't keep anybody off it. Unless it's a land trust. I don't, it's not a
I
land.
don't think.
No, that's
It's not a
not,
land trust.
that's not correct. As under the Conservation Commission enabling legislation, we have the right to own property and have property in our care and custody and make our own rules, regulations, whatever, you know. We could,
Right, but
a lot of them have, you know,
I don't,
no drinking.
we can't keep, we can't keep,
No.
No.
People, but keep
No,
them
we're not
hunting.
keeping people. Just
I
the
disagree with
hunting.
you. But I'm
The
entitled to
Boy
disagree.
Scouts are trying to put a significant amount
I
of trails
understand.
and benches and viewing.
I understand.
So if we're developing as a passive recreation area with a parking area that's gonna allow people to go walk and sit and view, it's not conducive to allow hunting, and you would just put it on the kiosk, like at the front of the parking area, like where you normally put the rules for the
Who's gonna
conservation
enforce it?
land.
Anyone's ain't gonna enforce it.
Most
Yeah.
people will be respectful of a conservation land if it says no hunting and not hunt there. If you do have a
Charlton has a very
if you
big
do have
hunting
a
population.
conservation land that you have passive recreation on and you allow hunting, it gets more complicated. Because what we had to do in Palmer at the one place that we had conservation land that allowed hunting is we had to put signs that hunting is allowed. And then we had on the kiosk, a bunch of those little coat hangers. And we bought a bunch of vests so people could wear them and not get shot when they were trying to go
Yes.
for a walk. Madera Conservation Land off Old Warren Road in Palmer.
The gentleman in the rear, you had something to say?
Can I ask a question? Has the town been hunting on any property before? And what's the difference between that land and any state park where you can hunt?
Who's under control of this?
Yeah,
Right, but every single state park has multiple use. What would be the difference that makes this so
I
much of a
just-
grave?
well,
I took the Boy Scouts 2 weeks ago to Purgatory Chasms and there was hunting.
Do they have signs up or?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hunting allowed.
Hunting allowed.
Right, so you have the
Yeah.
choice to either do one or the
Right.
other.
So why would we ban something in a town?
So. I don't know, maybe.
I don't believe you need the signs hunting allowed. That's what I'm saying.
no, you do
You
need
do.
the signs hunting allowed, so people are aware.
That's a fact, huh?
Yes,
Okay. because you say so. I don't agree
No,
with you. That's-
I know the law and I've dealt with this law for
You don't have
years
to-
and
you don't
years
have to
and
raise your
years and
voice,
years, so.
Just
I'm
did.
I
just,
just don't agree, huh?
You just did.
I just did. That's my normal tone.
Okay.
We have a long agenda.
So
No, do it. I mean, what are you gonna do now? You're gonna,
there's no signs at this point,
no,
right?
that say, there's no signs that say you can hunt or you cannot hunt.
the Charlton Hunters have been hunting there for
So the Boy
100
Scouts
years.
are requesting if the commission would like to approve a no hunting sign. So they can have the area just for viewing and walking. So whether the commission decide where they're gonna be hunting, the signs and appropriate materials and gears have to be there and the sign has to be there. If you choose no hunting, the same will happen. So you just need to have a motion.
We're developing the area trails for passive recreation. We have to notify the public
So-
one way or
other.
the other.
So what I'm saying is that the hunters that have been using that for years and years and years are being thrown out. They can't hunt on that town land anymore. Is that fair to the hunters? I mean,
That's what the Boy Scouts are requesting. I'm not recommending one way or another. I'm just
So
simply
you're
stating the
looking
fact
for a
that
motion to post no hunting signs or hunting.
We're looking for a motion to one way or another. We're not recommending anything, we're just bringing to you what the request was, so. the
So if you wanna
commission
put the
has
sign if you wanna put the sign at the gate, that I'd say you're fine, but then we're gonna check on it and make sure that we don't have to have the signs every so many feet. I believe you have to have signs,
So just, you need the motion, you need,
but we should check on that.
so what's the motion, Skip? To allow the no hunting,
Yeah,
okay, so. I guess.
Right,
we're
but
gonna
I
have
think
to
what
do
Skip
the roll
wants
call.
clarification, which makes sense, is if the hunters are gonna come in from a different part of the
Right.
land and not see the front entrance,
That's what's gonna
they
happen.
gotta be notified and have the no hunting, no hunting, no hunting signs posted
Yeah,
all
and I'm
around. so
sure the Boy Scouts would be amenable to hanging those signs since it is their request and they
Right.
are gonna be
if
doing.
people
it.
even could come across the tracks from the land
Oh,
on the
yeah.
other side.
Of course.
Come in from the backside and not even see it, you know? So it has to be, the signs have to be all the way around it.
Yeah,
Okay, so do a roll call, and the motion is to approve no hunting.
So we just postpone this to the next meeting.
no, I thought you just made the motion.
You just made the motion, so we just need the roll
Who made,
call,
who made a motion?
Make a motion. They would post no hunting signs.
okay?
Okay.
Ed, I need,
Motion made, there's a second? There's a second?
Second,
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I oppose.
majority,
Wait,
We have a tie vote.
did you?
No.
no, we
You
don't.
what-
He
Ron,
got
a yay.
what-
Did you have an A?
Already has-
Yay.
Oh, I do. All right,
Ron,
motion-
did you vote yes or no?
I voted, yes.
Okay.
Did you hear?
Thank you.
Okay, so that's.
Motion
3-0.
carried.
3,
You hear?
Okay,
Yeah.
ne-
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
The minutes,
Yes.
the minutes. Signing the documents, we'll get that later.
wait, no, we gotta do
Uh,
the minutes.
DPW
We
letter.
gotta approve the minutes.
Fun.
Approve the minutes, right?
Oh, right,
So make a motion to approve the minutes.
motion made,
Yeah.
second,
Second, yeah.
all in favor?
I,
Aye, the ayes have it. W letter.
we can sign at the end,
But it has Tom's name.
then we won't sign at the end. Next. Move
Nothing,
forward,
huh?
we can go to the first.
Hey, notice of intent, DEP number 128, 1879 through 288. And 294 Southbridge Road. The applicant has submitted a notice of intent for the construction of a battery energy storage system within 100 feet of the buffer zone. Do we have anybody here for
It's continue,
continue, Skip.
continue?
so motion.
Is there anybody here on the butters that have any comments? For Southwick Road. Hearing none, we go to the next one.
Well, we gotta make the motion to continue.
Make a motion to continue
Second,
till 25th.
Motion made and seconded to continue to 125-23. All in favor?
All right,
aye,
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. Notice of intent, DEP number 128-1880 Griffin Road. The applicant has submitted a notice of intent for the construction of a battery energy storage system within 100 feet of the buffer zone. It's continued to 125-23. But is there any abutters that have any comments? Hearing none. Do I have a motion?
motion made to continue.
second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
Notice of intent, DEP number. No DEP number?
It just came in at 5 PM, but there is one now. You have the number for the record?
Yes, it's 128-1889.
Okay, the applicant has submitted a notice of intent for the road widening and realignment of associated extension and existing culvert to make road improvements necessary to support vehicle entries and existing the Amazon warehouse. Is that,
That's us. I'm Paul Martin with BSC Group. I'm representing the applicant. Also with us tonight is Mitch Page, one of the engineers, Jake Carmody, another engineer, and then Lee Blackwell, you've already met. And I believe virtually is attending John Perry from Langen. So we have some of the engineers that did the design work available for questions. We have some displays here. Still a little hard to see, but basically I'll start with the Route 120. And at the western end. Basically what happens is there's a very thin wedge that's gonna get wider and wider as we go east, where they're going to widen the road and reposition it a little bit and make sure there's continuity with existing driveways. And as you can see here, we've got the 200-foot riverfront area and the 100-foot buffer zone comes into play after, several hundred feet. And continuing east, the riverfront area encompasses and the buffer zone encompasses more of Route 20. In this section here, here's Sullivan Road, Sibley Pond is sitting here and exits underneath Sullivan Road. We have a retaining wall here. There's wetland out here. Still no wetland impacts per se along this section. And then we continue east and the road widening gets to its largest point in here. This is a house, a property that was acquired. And then there's the tributary to Katy Brook and the culvert that we're going to be talking about. In addition, you'll see in this area is where we're proposing our mitigation for impacts to bank, land underwater, and BBW and BLXF. There is a stormwater system over here. And DEP requested a little bit sediment forebay here to help with sediment removal before the water would flow through uplands and there's the wetland. And then continuing further east, the narrowing, the road widening gets narrower and narrower as it comes back to meet the existing pavement. Right here is the 4-unit apartment building. Right here. If you're familiar with it, the Veolia, the town super lift station is right here. To kind of put you in perspective. So the work is going to be occurring on the north side of Route 20. And as described in the application,
There's your place for me. Further down.
On the next one. Full family.
So then this detail shows a little bit more of the work at the actual culvert. Right now, the culvert has a head wall here. And in order to add a pavement, they're going to put an 8 foot long culvert extension. And have a retaining wall along here. So there's a little bit of fill and permanent disturbance of the stream bed, but it will be embedded. It'll have 2 feet of natural river sediments to restore, more of a native habitat for fish and aquatic life.
Paul, did you submit that page? Cause
A1, S1.
yeah, we don't have that. Unless it's in this littler.
But we can certainly get it to you. There is, this set of plans that are colored. It also show you the detail of the plan and profile view. That are in the NOI. So you want to stop and ask questions about Route 20 before we go to 169, or do you want to talk about 169 and then bring it up overall?
Through the chair, is the DOT gonna have a say on this at the end? Before it's accepted?
Yeah,
They're gonna have to accept it.
yeah, we're getting permits from them, and they've been involved in the design development.
Is it?
Yeah.
We're thinking.
Yeah, it's in the NOI, it's this S1.
Yeah, I found the S1. I just didn't have a large scale.
That's the taking on the, that's the taking on the opposite side of the road.
We could see if there are butters from Route 20 and they address it and they go to 169. Or do you want him to present it all?
It's up to you whether you want me to discuss 169 and get it all done with, or do you want to start with Route 20 and then go to 169?
Did you see a problem?
With what?
Huh? With Route 20?
With the widening?
Yeah.
No, but I think that it might be beneficial to go one than the other, so people from Route 20 can ask questions
Yeah,
while all
that's-
these
that's
plans
fine.
are up and.
So there's any other comment from the board on this? Mitch, have anything on this side? Any abutters have a comment on the widening on Route 20? They don't hear it. So we'll continue.
169.
Okay. Let me go over one.
They have a motion to continue.
No, he's gonna present the 169.
So you want to keep those separate to 169?
No, it's
No, it's all the same time.
Okay.
So over on 169. I guess we'll start on the north end and move south. So, is it this is the south end. Okay, sorry. We'll start at the south end and go north. So Route 20 is gonna be way up here. So, Katy Brook is flowing through the woods over here. There's BVW on the east side of Route 169 that places some buffer zone and some riverfront area across the road and into our work area. So again, there's a little portion at the very southern end where there's just some repaving in order to blend into the existing road. The widening, starts here. It's not as much widening as on Route 20. I think the widest part is only 6 feet, maybe.
Sounds like that.
About 6 feet. And it doesn't impact any vegetated wetland resources. No BLSF, no land underwater, no bank. It's just riverfront area and buffer zone. If we continue north, we come to the property at 64 South Bridge Road, which because of the widening is going to exacerbate, or would exacerbate the sharpness of their turn into their driveway if they were going southbound, which is already very extreme.
At the entrance.
No, that's a private property driveway that we're gonna do a little improvement on. So, Leah and folks have been meeting with landowners and have come up with a plan to move their driveway onto this orientation, which will require construction of a little retaining wall, but it'll give a more perpendicular entrance exiting rather than this hard 140-degree turn to get up into her driveway going southbound.
Paul, what address is that for that?
64 South
Yes.
Bridge. Yeah. Okay. There is one catch basin here that's pretty much plugged up or whatever. We're gonna rehabilitate that to improve like grabbing the stormwater and directing it under the road. We finally come continuing north to the new entrance that is being constructed off of Route 169. So there's this whole entrance work area. And then the widening tapers down again and ends before you get to the bridge where the trip to Katy Brook occurs. But again, there will be some repaving to integrate this construction area into the existing road. And that will occur north of that stream. And that is pretty much it.
Any comment from the board?
Through the chair, Stevie, could you just show me on this map where your problem is in Hurry?
As to.
Where the
Well,
water comes from the back of your
on the
property?
back of it doesn't have any.
It doesn't have anything to do with this
It
project.
doesn't go to the road?
No,
Well, eventually it goes through the property, but yeah, but it doesn't have an impact on.
Okay, all right.
160 there.
Any other comment from the board? Any comments from your butters?
What are we doing for the wildlife? Because right now, I know wildlife is down in that little marshland, and they come up through all our properties. But when you put that driveway and put off the fence, they've had to change their path. I've noticed. So
That's right.
they're jumping up over the guardrail now versus walking across down by where the bridge is. There's that open area. That's where they used to walk through.
Right.
Now they're not walking through there because they can't get up into the back. So they're coming down further and hopping over.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the fence is, there's temporary security fence, so
Right.
people don't come up into the construction site. I don't believe in the final design that there's gonna be a fence like that.
There's no fencing.
Okay.
I thought there was a privacy fence or a sound barrier.
There's a
For
sound
me.
barrier, there's a sound barrier wall, which is parallel to the road that goes up onto the site.
Right, that's what you're talking about.
That's actually perpendicular to 169 though.
Correct.
So it wouldn't interfere with wildlife movement. They would be able to come across the road and go up into the woods. Because the sound barrier is parallel. 169, the sound barrier is gonna be like this.
How tall is the fence?
I think it's 12 feet.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a sound barrier wall, and the notion is to mitigate any sound and noise that would be disruptive to abutters, which would. Your specialty.
So if deer come up on the north side of that barrier, they can walk up the road, they can walk on the north side or the south side of that Jersey, not Jersey barrier, excuse me, the sound.
Yeah, this sheet shows it. Here's the new road. This is the east side of 169.
Yeah.
This is the sound barrier wall,
How far does that go up?
not too much farther than this.
So they can go up around that wall.
Uh-huh.
That, that profile of the wall is about a foot wide and it runs about 32 feet in length, it's about 12 feet in height. There's probably 80 feet to the south side and 250 feet to the right side. They would choose.
They can eventually get around it if they go up the north side.
It's not an obstruction.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I think, you know, given the residential properties there,
Oh, they go through there.
and then this area is gonna all be retained as natural wooded area along the old cart path,
Yeah.
the 10
Any other comments from the abutters? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to continue.
Yeah,
No?
DEP comments,
I mean, when I read them, most of them are, you know, cleaning up some errors in the form, giving you a couple more calculations. She did comment that we didn't add the 169 riverfront area to the form, but I double checked the October filing form.
I think she looked at the previous.
yeah, that's what
Filing.
we think.
Yeah, I think she mixed them up. Because I did send the amended one, only 7 days before the holidays, so.
Yeah.
um,
Because all her comments were your comments. Based on the
Yeah.
first filing, not the revised one.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can either prepare a letter that kind of itemizes her comments and provide you with a response to those comments. If that would be helpful for you, so that you're clear in how you're interacting with the DP.
And you'll be able to address all that prior to the next meeting.
Yeah,
Okay,
awesome.
That'll cover all the concerns of the abutters in that
Well,
letter.
I don't think we're gonna incorporate the stormwater concerns into
No.
this resolution of this notice of intent
Separate
filing.
Two
The
different
other
issues.
time.
yeah.
I'll take responsibility for dealing with
Yeah,
the
we
washout
talked
and
during
work with Conservation
development.
Commission to address those issues.
Promotion?
So we're continuing.
Let's continue, make a motion to continue to the next meeting.
Second,
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Notice, notice of intent, 128, 1884. Lot 7, Harrington Road. The applicant has submitted a notice of intent for the construction of a single-family home with well, septic, and driveway. Is there anybody here for 7 Harrington Road?
Yes, Stephen Balsavich, here on behalf of Land Planning, Inc., representing the homeowner and, property owner, I should say, Cree Realty LLC. So as you stated, the proposal is to construct a single-family residence, on-site septic system and well. The total land disturbance for this project as proposed is 19,100 square feet. Are there any questions regarding the plan as proposed at this time?
Yes, hold on.
How many square feet do you say?
19,000.
Can I share my screen? I have the plan available.
At the Amazon?
Yeah. We're on 7.
7.
Yes, I believe I shared the screen. Can you guys see that on the TV?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Are these pictures for 7 or 8 or both?
Oh,
Okay. So. What is missing from this application? Is. Stormwater. DEP's regs, any subdivision A and R that has more than 4 lots. As long as you know, one of the lots has wetland jurisdiction. The entire A and R triggers the stormwater standards. Under 310 CMR 10.05613. Even if some of the lots are 100% upland. The entire. A and R still needs to meet the standards. Even if you've already, built on one of those lots and it has a home on it, you still have to. Do the stormwater for the parent lot. So I
Could you,
believe the lots further down.
Could you provide that reg site, and was this from DEP's review?
Yes. I can forward you the email from her.
Okay,
This was from Mia. She checked with Kim on Harrington Road. And Kim said that it must meet the stormwater standards to the maximum extent practicable, even though her comments did not say it.
okay,
Because they commented on Oxford Road as well, so.
okay. I will have to discuss that with Norman Hill and the property owner about moving forward, so if I may ask for a continuance. However, were there any problems with the plan as far as what has been proposed so far? Going forward, we do propose stormwater management. I'm gonna try and stick within the limit of disturbance as proposed as best I can. Again, I might not be able to achieve that, but that would be one of my goals. But as far as the siting of everything so far, are there any comments regarding that?
The major concern with the development of this lot and lot 8 is stormwater. And we do have several abutters here expressing concerns on that as well.
Okay,
Any other comment from the board?
Yeah, I'm just, so through the 4 lots, even though they're not in common ownership, they were at one time.
Yep.
They have to meet the stormwater,
Yep,
More than 4,
4 or more,
4 or more.
and they were in common ownership at one time.
yeah, it's right there in the corner.
Now or formerly, right? I'll take your word.
Same thing applies. If you subdivide a lot that has a river on it. The amount of riverfront disturbance applies to the parent lot, not the.
So maybe the abutters can express their concerns now. So then we can only have stormwater for the continue. Since they're already here.
Who wants to
Gentlemen in
come
the
up
back,
and-
Good evening, my name's
Hey,
Richard Stanley.
Would you mind,
Richard, please, thank you.
just so, yeah, talking to the mic, cause they won't be able to hear.
Hi, good evening. My name is Richard Scanlon. I live at 84 Harrington Road. I've lived there for just under 6 years.
Want to speak into the mic, please? Yes. Yeah,
What I provided you with are pictures and videos of the two adjacent lots that are directly across from my property. What you will see is there are two perennial streams that run constantly year round off of that hill, and that floods my yard, that floods my neighbor's yard, and that also floods the third house down. Any disturbance in that water is going to significantly impact me. What I'm looking for the board is, I don't care about a house being built, but I just want some type of guarantee that if they're gonna build a house up there and it impacts me and floods out my property, that's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about my house, but as you can see in those pictures, where that area where my boat is, it's less than 20 or 30 feet from my house. And that is directly adjacent to lots that they're looking to build on. Also, what I included is a picture of what happened with the current house that's being directly across from my driveway, which I don't know if that would be 9 or 6. With that house being built, we've never had water issues in the roadway, and you can see from the pictures, the ice that's now formed in the water that we have a problem with in all the town roads. Now there's extensive ice and water runoff from that house, which was a small stream up there that was disturbed.
Which again is, yeah, why exactly that?
Right.
They need to do the stormwater management.
What I'm concerned about is these are two perennial streams, so these are not intermittent. This is not storm. This is something
So-
that's 24, that's 365 days a year. And I have videos on my phone that I can gladly show you up to 2 and 3 years ago of these streams running. So that's what my concern is.
Unfortunately, they are mapped as intermittent streams.
I can disprove that. And I believe, we also have somebody here from the
Neil?
adjacent property who's been here.
The only
years.
way to disprove to go from an intermittent stream to perennial is to run stream stats. And I ran the stream stats report for both of them. They do meet the 99% duration flow, but they do not meet the parameter for drainage area. You have to have a drainage area of a square mile or more to go from intermittent to perennial. And unfortunately, all of my, at least desktop investigation based on the wetlands regulations to change the status have it coming up as it being.
It's these two streams that we're talking about that come off of the hill, drain directly into Katy Brook. So they're constantly running. I've been there 6 years. I know Mrs. Santos has been there well longer than anybody else. And she can attest to the fact that these streams have run year round for 40, 50 years.
One stream on her property is perennial, and it's the one that runs kind of parallel to the road.
Yeah.
The other one doesn't have the drainage area.
I'm just because I'm a layperson, I don't understand drainage area. You drain into a stream, how could you have a drainage area?
It's the watershed size. So the amount of area, so you see this picture and you see the yellow?
Yep.
That's the drainage area, the drainage piece.
Is that my house or is that the lot?
That's 75 Harrington.
Where would
That's
84?
hers.
That would be hers. But what I'm concerned about is the stream that directly comes down in front of my driveway.
So that one isn't even mapped.
The town put a culvert in to divert the
No,
water.
I know, but,
Yeah, I mean, obviously
you
it's there.
look-
The town had to put a culvert in.
and I understand, but if you look, I couldn't run the stream stats on it because the stream didn't exist on stream stats for me to click on and do a basin report.
I'm not arguing with you, but the town obviously had to put in a culvert to divert water because of excessive water runoff. I mean, that's year round. That's what my concern is. And I know for a fact that if we disturb it, you're gonna flood my house.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think there's other butters. Are there any other butters?
Does he want to address the engineer?
Address.
Question?
So I'm James Viera, I live at 88 Arrington Road, which is the neighboring lot. Even if we take away the perennial stream argument and just go by stormwater alone, every time it rains, even lightly, like recently on the 23rd, we had a ton of water. That area completely washes out. The little brook or stream that is there, that feeds Lady Brook, not nearly large enough, floods the whole wooded area. And as it is, it backs up, goes into his property, through his property into mine. Now, if that's diverted or changed, where's the water gonna go? If it goes down to his driveway, then it's gonna flood his garage and then turn my garage and so on. So as long as it continues its way down to Hattie Brook in a proper fashion, fine with me. But that water has to get there, otherwise it's gonna flood us out. And in turn, like the house that's already been constructed, I think it's lot 6, is flooding the roadway and creating ice as the pictures illustrate. So that's our concern, is like, where is all this water gonna go?
So that's exactly why we were requiring them to do the full-blown stormwater report
Mhm.
for all 8 lots, including the one that
Already did.
is already built. So it triggers not only Mass DEP stormwater, but it also triggers our local stormwater bylaw.
So these, I had a question. These lots are, and especially us, we're only contracted for Cree Realty and we do not have any involvement with any of the other additional lots. I'm okay with, if need be, providing stormwater management on each individual lot, but I can't be in charge of providing stormwater management on a subdivided lot, accounting for lots that aren't in common ownership and not even involved in this project as a property. So I don't see how I'd have to account for all 8 lots when the only 2 in common are lots 7 and 8 held by Cree Realty. Wouldn't I be subject to providing the stormwater management for 7 independently and 8 independently, and they would get their own stormwater management systems? And every other additional lot, whomever does the engineering or whoever holds it in ownership, would be subject to their stormwater management for that lot. So for example, we have our lot, it's all wooded, we convert it to grass, roof, pavement, etc. Shouldn't we just be subject to our particular lot area going from one land use to another? And not really accounting, because I don't know what is going on with any of the other lots. And I can't account for impervious area on those other lots. So I'm okay with, doing the stormwater if it's necessary for each individual lot on the lot it's involved with, but I don't think we can account for the entire mother parcel as a whole and then break that down into the subdivided lots.
So according again to Mass DEP, that lot 6 appears to have the initial home on it. They, it's still, the 8 lots trigger the stormwater review of the entire subdivision because 7 and 8 have wetland jurisdiction area. And if you want to discuss that, I would contact Mia McDonald at Mass DEP. We could have a conference call if you want to see the best way to proceed.
Because shouldn't you approach, obviously I understand, there was wetlands on the parcel before it was divided, but shouldn't you contact the owner of lot 6 and have him do something? Or is he get away first, from, providing any stormwater? And our client loses lot 8 because he has to provide stormwater management for the entire piece.
It's tricky.
Because I can definitely see, being able to, lot. Because if this was, these lots were created, they were approved by the planning board before that was even cut up, shouldn't they do the stormwater for the whole project as a whole? And shouldn't they, in that approval not required, show areas that are drainage areas and would be required to be drainage areas? Because I could provide each lot with stormwater management system. But to account for some other parcel that could be designed in, it's just accounting for it. I don't know what they're proposing on lot 4. I don't know what they're proposing on lot 2. So I really wouldn't be able to account that in my drainage calcs in a pre and post analysis.
Sounds like the answer to this question gives you a conference phone.
Yeah, because what she's saying is.
Would stormwater have any leeway? Pre-existing lots being exempt? Something that, if it was a lot before we accepted stormwater. They weren't subject, those other lots weren't subject to it at the time they built.
I don't believe that applies in this instance. These lots were submitted to the planning board with a A&R. I have the plan right here. It was submitted in 2017, so.
Already have the stormwater measurement.
We still have the stormwater bylaw. But this is DEP stormwater
Yeah.
as well as our stormwater.
But
Right.
why, how would the town stormwater applicability is based off of a disturbance area of 1 acre? And your regulations don't discuss combining of one lot to another and disturbances from one to another.
Yes,
Like I
they
said,
do. Section 3.1. Something, the land disturbance permit.
I did email the information to land planning. I never heard back from them. I did quote the land disturbance permit and stormwater bylaws. I didn't get back to them and I didn't have their information. I guess I should have sent it to you anyways, but I emailed to them yesterday. I didn't have any comments. Not only that, I don't have any of butters mailing certification. So I think the better thing to do anyways is we're gonna have to continue anyway. So, and then try to set up a meeting between DP, Angela and
So
you.
both 7 and 8 are the same.
Yeah,
yes.
but we'll still have to open 8 to
Any
continue.
other comment on the board?
Should I reach out to 6 about stormwater issues? And
And this is a tricky one. This is-
We don't have 6 here, right?
No, but she's asking if she should reach out.
Oh, sure.
to the engineer of 6 through the building department and
Yeah,
Question for the board?
And any other comment from this young lady over here?
Yes, I'm gonna go to.
to 7 though.
to 8.
I live at 61 Harrington Road. I own the property. I live at 61 Harrington Maple Rock Farm. And I
Oh, I'm
own
sorry.
75 Harrington Road, it's a 25 acre lot.
Okay, because 75 is the one that has issues.
Yeah,
Or is that what you're gonna talk
Yeah.
about?
yeah.
Okay, so then can we wait till we open lot
Lot
7?
lot 8. We haven't opened lot 8 yet.
Oh,
We're on lot
I'm
7. Yeah.
No, we're on lot 8.
7, we're on lot
7.
7. We haven't continued lot 7 yet.
We need to continue lot 7 and they open lot 8.
Okay,
Okay, motion to continue.
Stay there, it's okay. It's gonna be in a second.
but I believe he had one more
Oh,
question.
yes.
I just have questions because I've never been to one of these meetings. If you were to grant this and it floods my property, what's my course of action?
Civil, It would be a water trespass,
Okay.
which
Any-
is why I am pushing the stormwater report. And the local stormwater report to make sure that, you know, they aren't using TP40 data from the 1960s that does not adequately reflect current rainfalls, you know, the storms, much more frequent, much more intense, so that's why we require the use of NOAA Atlas 14+ and not TP40 for stormwater.
Okay, any other comment on lot 7? Any other comment from the board? Entertain a motion to continue for lot 7.
Yeah, motion made.
Second,
Motion made and seconded, all in favor,
I,
opposed? Motion carried.
Wait, oh,
That
that
was
was wrong.
now Lottie.
Aye. Aye.
Notice of intent for
We got you.
128, 1886, 8 Harrington Road. The applicant is submitted a notice of intent for the construction of a single-family home, dwelling, septic, and driveway. Same as 7,
Yes.
same comments,
Angela,
and any,
So the one issue with this, the
anything from the board?
one issue that I have with this that I believe that you're gonna speak on too is you do not show the stream or the buffer zone or anything that exists at 75 Harrington Road that definitely would put buffer into where the septic is and grading and stuff.
Okay, so I'll take a look into checking out any resource areas on 75 Harrington Road. Are they connected to this BVW as shown?
They're on the other side.
Yeah, they're across the street from,
No, they're on,
Same side.
75 is across the street from 74.
Yeah.
so the wetlands they're showing are over here. By lot 7. The stream is right here.
What is the town lot number for lot 7? The street number,
It doesn't have.
It
one.
doesn't have it yet,
or it doesn't have it?
yeah,
It would
I thought I
be,
saw 74.
northeast, west,
no, it might be a parcel.
would you like to,
northeast side.
Would you like to make a
All right.
comment?
Is your 25 acres on the side with Nature's Classroom?
No, my 25 acres abuts lot 8.
Yeah, it's right here. Sorry. So this is the BVW here. This is 75. Lot 8. Here's the property line.
Our property?
yeah,
Yes,
So is that correct?
yes.
so 75 is our property, Mitch.
Okay, so for this one, and there may be additional wetlands out there, we were provided a report from a wetland specialist that flagged this. We just field located it. He had an intermittent stream coming into this pocket of wetland up here. And then he had this as a BVW, and then he had the intermittent stream coming down here to a drop inlet. Are you saying there's additional wetlands over here?
No, that's.
Yep.
The drop inlet, that's on the other lot.
Yeah, there, well, this is 7 here. It's just, you can see this intermittent stream comes down.
All right,
Right
that's
here is the drop inlet.
because that's shown on the other plan. This
Yeah.
is on the other side.
Yeah, so here's lot 8. This is
Yeah.
lot 7. Here's the drop inlet. So I got A1, A2, I'm sorry, A8, A7, A6. Then if I go to the other plan, sorry. I have right here A7, A6, A5. So this right here, A8. Is going on to lot. So are you saying there's additional wetlands up here? Or are you saying this is all the one wetland system?
No, the one on the bottom of the screen that goes to the drop inlet is what the two gentlemen were expressing a lot of concerns on.
Yes.
She has a stream on her property 75 that goes like right by the rock wall and down that is not shown on the plan.
All right, so you're saying if I'm looking at this locust map, this is lot 8, our wetland comes down pocket to the drop inlet here. You're saying there's an additional finger of water coming this way.
There are two very
Two.
large noticeable ones.
Okay. All right. Yeah, as I stated, we were provided basically a report from a wetland specialist, a separate company. We'll definitely go out there and analyze this area for additional, hydrology and rivers and intermittent streams. If that is going to impact the septic, then we may have to rethink lot 8 a little more than lot 7.
I
But-
know a lot of wetland people won't go on they won't go on someone's property that they're not contracted to go on.
Yes,
So
that's, we didn't do any investigation. I believe you said you had the homeowner there.
Yes.
Would she be okay with us just for, the feasibility of the septic location itself sounds like it's contingent on where this is locating. Would she be all right, before the board accepting, our notice to enter the property to investigate this area?
can they come flag it? Cause if they can't come flag it
They can. put
and
it on the
survey
plan.
it, they can't put it on the plan and show it on the plan.
I would consider that then, consider them to do that.
Yeah, because if it is a concern, it may actually, depending on where it falls and where the buffers fall, I may have to rethink where the septic is getting sited, because if it, falls within 50 feet of where we have these, well, this has to go.
I think it may. I
So
very much think it does.
definitely gonna have to rethink that once we get it located. And if there are any other comments, if not, I'd like to continue this meeting.
So you probably need more than 2 weeks for this one, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately, Norman, the professional engineer I work under, is actually on vacation the remainder of this week and next week. So if we could push it out till February, I believe, what is it, the 2nd and 4th Wednesday?
Push them both out till February, right?
Yeah, because we're gonna have to seriously definitely rethink 8 and then kind of schedule with your board and the state on resolving this stormwater management concern.
Second.
You want February 8th or 22nd? Cause you are gonna have to go out to Miss
Yeah.
Zan's
Yeah, I
property.
would like the 22nd, continue to the 22nd. And could I also have that be for 7 as well? I know you kind of closed it and reopened this one.
Yeah, we'll just make a note, they're both continued to 2/22.
We need to make a motion, right?
Okay,
Yep.
any other comment from the board? Any comment from the abutters?
Oh, can I finish saying what I came to
Yes.
say?
Just have your phone number here. We'll
Oh,
have the
Dick off.
chance.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah,
yes. Yeah, I have lived at 61 Harrington Road since 1977, and, which abuts 75 Harrington Road. when we moved there, Mrs. Woods lived there. She moved there in 1927 as a bride and lost her son in the war. That's what I know about her. And that farm and the stream that we're talking about, I took pictures also on December 23rd. And that has always, to my knowledge, been running. And the people who farmed it used to, how, can I show you? Okay. They used to block that stream up with the paddle wheel, because we found the remnants of a paddle wheel, which we took down when we purchased the property in '84. So it used to back up, and they would create a farm pond to feed like cows and horses. So it was always wet, to our knowledge, that also, and it goes all the way up.
Yeah, that really, really flows.
Yes, so that's the pictures. These are the remnants of
That's
the
on the
paddle
map.
wheel
No,
brackets.
that is not on the phones.
So they would back it up.
Amazing that area.
I've got one of them on my property.
Yeah, farmers would back the water up to create a water source for their animals.
Not to change the subject, but you are Mary Whitehead.
I am Mary Whitehead Santos.
I am Mitch Dunn. I did work in your home the
Did,
first year you moved in.
you did.
My God,
And
what a
Gail done
small
too.
world.
Right. So anyhow, I just am concerned, 75 Harrington Road. When Mrs. Woods passed away in 1994, we purchased the property. It's now, I own it solely. And we immediately had to put in a French drain in the cellar
That's not right.
because of the water issue. And then I had the house deconstructed and the chestnut beams and the wide oak pine or the wide pine floors
Yeah.
are now in Amherst, Massachusetts. So we put a French drain in. I have since capped off the well and I've capped off the septic system. It's considered a buildable lot on 25 acres. I'm concerned if there's more construction, that's just going to continue to create water problems, not just for the neighbors across the street, but for 75 as well. So I have real concern.
The property we're talking about next door to you, that's the old Emmett property.
My 61 Old Man Emmett lived at
Bill,
61
yeah.
Harrington Road, and Mrs. Woods lived at 75. They're original Harrington houses on Harrington.
Bill Emmett got caught for counterfeiting $3 bills.
Well, I.
Mr. Emmett.
I didn't know Mr. Emmett.
Did you know him?
I did know Mrs. Woods, so she was a kind lady.
Yeah.
But like I said, I've lived there and there has always been a water issue. I'm at the top of the hill, but I know they say it's intermittent, but my estimation, I've never seen it dry. And there's another farm pond in the field between 75 and 61. So-
It's not the
All your
one
questions
that
been
comes out
answered?
of Pringles.
Has all your questions been answered?
I don't know, the question's been answered?
Can I access your property too and like walk up the stream and
Yeah,
see what I find with connections? Cause sometimes stream stats isn't 100% accurate. And when I compare USGS topo maps, at one point, it was perennial on the topo maps.
oh, it was. I would,
But then when they changed to the newer topo maps, I don't think it's perennial anymore, but I hate the new topo maps because before it was a dash line for the intermittent and a solid for perennial, and now it's light and dark blue. So
I didn't think the stream that, goes along the border wall, the property line, it didn't look like it was on the drawings, was it? Was the stream on the drawing?
No, he'll be adding that.
Okay.
yeah, that's
I'm
why,
surprised that
Yeah.
the drawings did not even
Right,
show.
it didn't show because they couldn't.
yeah, that's why he has to
Well,
go on your
yeah.
property to get the bank of it.
Okay.
to show it in its buffer zone, which is probably gonna dramatically impact the development of that lot and the placement of the septic system.
All right.
They will flag if it's on somebody else's property
Without permission.
without permission, so they never approach you
They
for
never
permission,
approach.
so they didn't put in the plan.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Anybody
thank
have
you.
any other questions? Thank you.
We have a motion on number 8.
Motion to continue,
For the 22nd.
February 22nd.
February 22nd.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion
Aye.
carried.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you for your time, everybody.
Thank you.
Notice of intent 128. 1885, 28 Willis Drive. The applicant has submitted a notice of intent to construct a single-family home with well and septic and driveway. Will anybody here from Willis Drive?
Have you been here before?
What this is just, what they're doing is they're taking the existing home that's there. Raising the existing home and putting a new home on it, basically the exact same. The septic system on the property is going to stay as is not gonna change, and
It's a
the
self-shelter
well that's
reservoir
on the
here.
property will not change. The house itself will actually be 79 feet to 80 feet from South Charlton Reservoir. And then on the.
Can we speak up?
Okay, going to be 79 feet from South Charlton Reservoir, and it's gonna be roughly, let's see, 43 feet from Willis Drive. And then there's a wetland on the other side of the street, which no work is being done on that area there. So the disturbance and everything on the property is rather minor.
So they're demoing and rebuilding
The existing.
the existing house,
Right.
and the house will be a little smaller,
Thank you. Right.
and moving the driveway and paving it.
What we're doing, we're actually cutting the size of the driveway down a little.
Okay, any comment from the board?
Already have DP, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep, I'm good.
We just have a button.
any comments from the abutters?
My name is Scott Baker. I'm the trustee for the Lucy Baker Estate on South Charlton Reservoir that comprises of 7 different properties. The work on Willis Drive that the commission granted for lot number 26 previously, that applicant is placing material on the opposite side of the road. That would be the west side of the road in the wetland area. That falls under your jurisdiction. Since this applicant has been made, the house next door, more debris is going on that side of the road. This is all within the area. It's all within 25 to 30 feet from Granbury Cove, out of the lake. I would strongly request and recommend silt fence along the road, on that side of the road, because what's happening is the contractors, everybody's using that area as their storage dumping. And if you were to go there and look at the site, you'll see that material is being placed on the opposite side of the silt fence. So the silt fence looked clean on the work that's being done currently at 26. And now it appears 28 is gonna do the same thing. And the concern is Not sure why we're putting material in a wetland zone when you're taken out of a wetland zone. I don't understand how that works. But I want assurances that the wetland is not gonna be compromised by these two projects.
26.
Sad, I believe is the name.
What?
I believe the last name is Sad.
No,
No,
it's
triplet.
triplet.
Triplet, excuse me, wrong name.
So that,
Please.
when that was permitted, they permitted a pipe to go through the actual wetlands.
I understand that. I understand.
So-
I understand.
That
What's
lot,
happened though is there's at least 30 to 40 ton of granite that's been placed in the wetlands that don't belong there. They don't belong there.
so that's
I'll say they're
separate.
not gonna be road because it's mountain.
I will investigate that and take enforcement action against 26. 28, all their staging,
There is new material across from 26 in the wetlands today.
okay,
I don't know who put it there.
but this is
Oh, no,
20.
who put it there. It's just,
Should we
we
continue
can't
this,
compromise
take a
one
look at
wetland.
it?
to another.
No, because it has nothing to do
different lot.
with
Two different
28.
lots, it's becoming a problem. It's been a problem for years. The residents on that street use the wetlands as their landfill. It's been a problem for years. We've dealt with it privately. We removed as much stuff as we can, the Christmas trees and everything. But once you permit construction for this kind of work, all eyes are off what's happening to wetlands adjacent. And I guess that's where my concern is. This is a very, very fragile part of the lake, very, very fragile part of the lake. And I'm just asking that all mitigations are put in place to protect all wetlands. That's my only request.
And so with
Lenny.
28,
Are any contractors from 28 dumping stuff that you know of on across from 26?
Not that I know of. I already think they've disturbed their property.
They haven't started yet.
They haven't. they
Yeah,
haven't-
we're 28 Willis Drive. We haven't done, yeah. There's no permit, so we've done nothing to our house. is just standing.
so
I'm not accusing anybody.
Yeah,
I just want you.
It doesn't,
so on
it has no bearing on this.
no, he hasn't. He just brought up the concern because the neighbor is doing it. So he's concerned
This one
about.
over here,
26
It
is
was-
where 26 is.
This is 28.
this is 28.
Yeah.
I don't know where 26 is.
It will be.
Yeah, if it's a big old stuff in the corner or not.
Yeah,
This will be removed. You're telling me that to be removed.
this is,
This is 28.
this is 28.
That's the same. This is, they're both 20, these are 28. We have nothing to do with 26.
Yeah, no, I don't know which side of this lot is 26.
But for the development of 28.
You're coming,
What I'm telling you, debris is being dumped
coming
here
south.
and here, and it appears from two different lots. That's
It would be, 26 would be.
wetland. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, go.
So they're dumping over here in the,
Yeah.
but it has no, and I know exactly where it's going.
Let me just show you.
I
Okay.
understand. I looked at all this.
Here's- This is my client right here at 28.
Okay.
This
The other
is
side of the road is my
26.
concern.
He is
It's
going
wet-
up,
it's wet.
got a septic
Just asking to protect it.
here.
I'm not asking
He
to
owns
stop
all the
project,
property there.
But no debris should be left in a wetland.
They haven't done a thing yet.
Very true.
No construction debris
Where's that
left in a wetland.
dumping?
He, right over here in the front, right across the street, he's saying it's over there. I have no idea.
But it has no bearing on 28.
We haven't done anything yet.
All right.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do.
I
with
understand that. I understand that.
But yeah,
You go to this,
totally.
it's total separate, I mean.
Yeah.
there's stuff like that.
Correct.
Okay, so we close this one.
Been there
We'll
twice.
close, but we can issue it.
Difficult to do.
Understood.
GP's
All right.
website.
So maybe somebody will
Locked
want to come.
out. We put the permit, so we'll be. Well,
All right, I make a
no,
motion.
we have the number, but we cannot print the
So-
order of conditions.
Hold on, you wanna know what I was thinking might work?
They go so screwed up too.
We could. It has to be issued within 21 days.
Yeah,
So maybe with the draft, if after the meeting, we try quickly to add the attachment and then type their names in and see if that works.
I can try if that works tomorrow, but if it doesn't work, you can make a motion to issue it.
Oh.
Do you have a problem waiting till the 25th for the permit itself? We'll close the meeting.
I can't answer that, but let's put it in, if you can get a, a waiver on it, if you do your waiver.
We can't do that. So. is the
Megan, when do
applicant-
you
yeah.
intend to start work?
We have a builder lined up and we have a quote, but I mean, as soon as possible would be great, but we don't have, there's no like timeline for really anything at this point.
Can you wait 2 weeks? Cause we were having problems with the state's permit, generator thing. EDEP.
Problem. No
Okay.
problem.
So then we'll close the public hearing. But wait until the 25th
To issue.
to issue.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
So you have
Motion
to
made, seconded,
close.
all in favor,
I,
Aye.
Thank you.
opposed, motion carried.
That's for your time.
Thank you.
Happy New Year, Lenny.
Happy New Year.
Which one we got here? Okay. DP number 128-1749 through 18184 Bull Road. For the construction of a single-family home within 100 feet of the buffer zone.
Andrew Martin, I'm the owner of the property. I'm my engineer.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rauf Mankaris with Alpha Omega Engineering. I'm representing the client, Andrew Cotton, for the project. If you can allow me share the screen.
Go ahead.
So this is an amendment.
Yeah.
That's also covering the restoration work, from the violation.
That's all straightened out now.
Yeah. the
He
commission
hasn't
approved.
done,
Restoration has not been.
yeah.
So,
Restoration completed yet, but this order of conditions that's being issued is going to condition the restoration as well as the amendment, the changes to the site plan,
Okay.
because we never issued an enforcement order, we just
Yeah.
had him in, did conversations. So the only way he can work in a wetland is either with a notice of intent or an enforcement order. So we didn't go enforcement order route. And we're just permitting and monitoring the restoration with the construction of the single family home.
Sounds like a plan.
I guess my one question, and maybe, I know, I'm sorry, I apologize, I was on maternity leave, Art reviewed it all and everything. Is there an actual plan to restore the stream channel?
No, there was no stream in the wetland, just a wetland. So the plan is just restoring the plants and in the wetland area and abutting the wetland, some upland plants outside the wetland buffer and in the wetland buffer and the wetland plants themselves. And that was reviewed already by the consultant and approved by the commission. However, the proposed work right now is completely outside the 50-foot buffer, which is an improvement from the approved plan, the previously approved plan.
Is here.
I mean, there was channelization there in a stream. You have the culvert and then you have the little arrows with the flow.
Yeah, that's just then showing where is the flow going, but it's not like a real channel. It's just showing where is the drainage going flow. But not a real channel, not a defined channel.
Is there not a defined channel because of all the driving and digging and stumping and?
No, not really. If you look at the approved plan, there was no channel in the approved plan. I have it. I have a copy of it. I can share it on the screen too.
No, we have it right here.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I was on maternity leave, so you guys
Well,
approved
I'd like to
it.
see them be able to get going here and make it subject to something. I mean,
Any other comment from the board? Any comment from your butters?
So they have a plan now to do the restoration.
Yes, as well as amending where the septic and everything is going.
Okay. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
yeah, motion to approve.
Again, just
To close,
Oh, it's to close. All right, motion to close it.
and then we'll issue,
They have a second,
Second,
motion made and second.
Second.
All in favor,
favor.
opposed, motion carried.
Aye.
we won't be able to issue the permit tonight. We have a problem with the EGP website, so we'll be issuing on the 25th, which is in 2 weeks.
GP number 128, 1888,
you too.
Thank you,
lot
Bob.
122B, Oxford Road. The applicant has submitted a notice of intent for the construction of a single-family home, well, septic, driveway, and parking area. Is anybody here for lot 122B?
I am the representative. I want to say, thank you for having me out, and, I've had the pleasure of having a site walk today, discussing some of these issues with, the conservation office. And I'm gonna try to make it as clear as possible. This is gonna be the easy one here. 122B, we are proposing, I'm sorry.
I'm
my-
sorry, thank you.
Yeah, my name is Jared Savory. I go by Jerry. This is my partner, Eric Bader. We're both from Toper Engineering. Sorry, Toper Land Surveying. Pardon me. Okay, so 122B is a 4-bedroom house, well, septic and driveway and appropriate grading for all of which. We have taken into consideration the disturbance. So what we did with the septic is we opted to go with a 40 mil poly barrier, to keep the, or to limit the construction within that 0 to 50 foot wetland area. But we have, once again, we've taken every measure we could with this lot to limit any disturbance. But unfortunately, we do have some within 100 foot buffer.
Yeah, that's the 50, that's the 100. Again,
Stormwater management.
yep,
Yeah, this is gonna be very similar to the Huntington Road. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any comment on this?
is T Reardon Builders doing all of them?
T Reardon Builders he owns A, B, and C, but not D. A has been built and sold as of 2 weeks ago. So they were, they probably got approval about a month ago. I unfortunately, I just don't have that exact date right in front of me. I had a lot of stuff drop at 0 hour here, so.
Was T Reardon the owner of that lot?
Of
The
A,
fourth
yes,
lot?
yes,
Was it A or was it 1?
A.
Okay,
So does that bring up the 4 lot?
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell that's gonna work.
We'll contact the building department to see who did the other
Yeah.
lot and go from there.
how it's supposed to work is when the planning board gives us site plans for review. They don't give us A&Rs. So the site planning board is going, I will speak with Randy. And that they're going to have to notify us whenever they get an A&R.
With 4 or more.
Yep. And then we will send a letter, sending a comment that says this triggers stormwater.
Wow.
Cause it doesn't trigger stormwater for planning board because it's not a subdivision access road. It's an approval not required, but the Wetlands Protection Act doesn't view it. Anytime you subdivide a parent lot after certain dates, it triggers it, so.
I've done that so many times. We got lucky, Skip.
Yeah, right.
Well, I get two.
I'm not lucky yet, though.
I get two things that are just popping up. One being, there is still another lot out there we don't own, but that's deed. Wouldn't they trigger the stormwater for the rest of us?
That's a 5th lot?
That's
Does T. Reardon still own it?
he doesn't own D.
Did he
Not
own it?
D. A, he does not own, it's been sold, and,
But he owns it, but not D,
but not D.
from which find that D.
Yeah.
Who owns it, what D.
So D wasn't part of that.
Because I mean, like,
So we have any problem with this,
Yeah.
with this lot?
Yeah, the whole stormwater stuff.
Yes,
yeah,
same thing we had with Harrington Road.
yeah, I'm willing to do everything that needs to get done
Yeah,
for
we're
it.
just
I'm
gonna,
just,
again, we're probably gonna need a
Yeah.
phone call with
Yeah.
DP and.
So the reason why DEP says to do it at the beginning is because if we wait till lot 5 is developed, then lot 5 is going to have to bear the burden of all of the other ones.
We ran into Harrington.
And
That was.
Which means he might have to actually encroach on the other lots to get some work done.
that turns into a giant
So how would you do
nightmare. If we leave it to that last lot to do. Considering we've had these discussions, we've requested it. It could fall back very badly on us.
Yeah.
If we make that decision.
Right, and is there any way where we can get a real clarification on it, or see if there's any loophole?
I just
No,
wanna-
I have all the clarification for Mass DEP.
Yeah.
What more clarification are you looking for? I can get you out the regulations.
No, I think you're talking about weight, is that they're different owners.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest, I'm clear with this, like, all right, I'm builder X, whoever. Planning board gives me this lot, I'm building 5 lots. Which one of the contractors that buys this land gets stuck with doing the storm management? The first, the second, the
first
third,
one.
the fourth, the fifth? I don't know.
Right, but the first one might not have any clue what development is gonna be on lot 4 and 5, so.
I understand what you're saying, I get the reg,
How can
reg is
you?
clear as pie. But what's
Yeah,
not clear is
And
which
all the
builder gets stuck with the stormwater.
The builder
How-
that has the wetlands on their property, essentially.
Right, so if I'm the last guy building the last lot, now I have to go back to 4 other builders and say, hey, I need your help with the stormwater management. See Harrington Road, that's what I'm getting at, where's this gonna end up?
It
So
doesn't
that's
make
what
any
we-
sense, but
We need the state to say, all right, you tell these people that they ought to work together.
So this,
Unless you require each. The one way to do it is to require each individual lot
to give us a stormwater plan
Yep,
at the time they built.
yep.
But GP doesn't accept that, they want it as a whole,
There's gotta be,
that's why we're
Gotta be
going,
a
That's
way
great,
around.
the DP says that, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you,
But how?
you take your legal
Just tell
fees,
it how.
you fight it, you deal with it. It's your role, you fight it, why should we be stuck saying to the last guy, you gotta go after all this?
no, we'll do the first.
Now, this is all DP triggered. It's not your local bylaws that are triggering this. Right?
No, the stormwater regulations, it triggers.
Okay, that's because the A and R has been, it was approved on 5, it was 5/3 or 5/1 of 2021. And your regulations didn't go in effect till June,
Our regulations
Literally.
have no grandfathering.
right? Right, so
So-
what I'm getting at is how can we be, and this kind of goes in with that, this whole thing about
Yeah.
multiple lot use. How can we be held liable for?
our town regulation doesn't trigger that 4-lot thing, does it?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah, it
getting at.
does too.
It does.
Yeah.
I know.
So we
The only
have,
thing it.
Sorry.
Our town regulations technically. Trigger a single family home if they clear over an acre,
Okay,
but you guys didn't want. One single family homeowner. To have to go,
For stormwater.
yeah.
so if I owned 4 lots and sold them to 4 different builders, me as the prior owner, would I be responsible for the stormwater before I sold them? A plan? Or is it the first builder that builds in the wetland?
How, I don't think you could be, because he doesn't know what's being proposed, so.
That's the point. Is
Yeah.
that Then when they trigger.
There's a
they
catch
trigger
22
the-
there.
Yeah, they trigger the reg, it's already kind of like too late, the cat's half out of the bag.
Well, I don't think it's late, I just think,
Well, it's
Yeah.
late, because if you have to, just argument's sake. They get all this water coming from 5 lots, right? So to comply with stormwater, every single lot's gonna have certain drainage issues. Now you're gonna tell the other people that have already built, hey, after the fact, you gotta add this drainage to your lot,
That's what it sounds like.
right?
not, maybe not add, but have it permitted.
Yeah, but you're still gonna have to do work on my lot. So I moved into my home, I don't know what this is going on, I'm all set in, and a year or 2, 3 years down the road, you come knock on my door, go, hey, cause stormwater, man,
Yeah.
we gotta get on your line and do this.
Yeah.
Holy civil lawsuit, Batman.
When that guy built, didn't trigger the stormwater because he didn't mess up 40,000
That's
feet.
my point.
Because, right, because he didn't have wetlands in that specific lot.
Yeah, that's a civil nightmare.
That's why it should start at planning board, because if it started planning board, we will know.
It shouldn't even be there. Each lot should be their
Individual.
own individual. If I own 4 lots and sell them 4 pieces, the 4 builders should be responsible for their own stormwater.
But that's not the regulations are.
It's we
So
as a
that
state-
is what
The state has to give us some guidance on how we're gonna go about this.
Yeah,
the state said, that if we wait till the 5th lot, then they have to bear the burden of all the other lots.
can you imagine, you were the 5th lot, and then we
Right,
go.
but that does not
You need to
address
put
my
stormwater.
So if that means, okay, I
Can you
need help
imagine?
for drainage for the other 4 lots. Hypothetically, now I gotta go after those other 4 lots to help me out meet the stormwater?
Or you're gonna be responsible by yourself. for-
So the best way to address this, moving forward and not running in to these DEP things when they go to develop the wetland lot, is that as soon as we have the A&R,
We'll contact them.
we require the stormwater permit for each lot when they start to build it.
Individual.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would think, each person meets
But
their
is that-
requirements,
Is that acceptable to DEP?
it's not gonna be.
Or do we ask
To
them?
the next guy.
yeah, we're gonna bring that out up to them.
I mean, there's gotta be a way to prevent one builder from being responsible for 4 or 5 different lots.
Well, that's what happened with T Hall Road, and that's why T Hall Road got all,
Bankrupt,
and
pretty much.
and it was the same developer.
Or had already built to a house, had already sold to a house, and that was another nightmare.
So the or the same developer,
But the difference
in
is,
theory, should have been aware of this, but
but the difference is they did apply, they did file stormwater at the beginning for the first lots, for all the lots. Is when they came back to amend one certain lots. GP wanted stormwater revised for all the other lots. And the owner of that particular lot said no.
I could see if one builder did
That one I was
all the
wondering.
lots,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but if you're gonna have four
Well,
lots,
at least
four
we
different
had done
builders,
the stormwater review first. So,
each lot should do their
We
their
got
own stormwater.
clarification.
yeah, we'll call GP, so why don't we move along?
I mean, when they put out their new stormwater regs. Which should have been like April.
It won't be long, they'll be making us post no hunting in stormwater areas.
Let's move on this one.
You can't tell I'm an avid hunter, can you?
That's
But there's easy ways to do it, like you can just. Focus on low impact development and green infrastructure techniques. And tie all your roof drains together into a dry well or a rain garden or. You know,
Again,
something
none of
like
that
that.
will work
You'd
without
almost-
cooperation between the buildings.
You would almost need a separate
Which
lot for that. It would be
Which
so.
never happened simultaneously.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. If it's been not proposed,
Can we, so we're not here till midnight, can we?
yeah, can we?
Well,
move it?
Let's move on, we'll have to get that figured out.
We'll
yeah,
continue.
I was gonna ask for a continuation on it anyways, because of the land disturbance permit and, the stormwater.
Can I make a
Did you
motion to
mention
continue?
the locus? Is that, was
So
that
it's just
his,
gonna continue.
was that his plan that had the locus? No.
Yeah, oh yeah, your
Yeah,
locus,
He's gonna locus on you.
your locus map was way off.
It was.
Way off?
Oh,
It was a
okay,
little off. Just
Okay.
take a look at that before we buy it. That's all.
all right.
I'm sorry.
I kept
wasn't sure
driving
which one
back
it
and
was.
forth and I'm like, where am I going?
right.
Based on this little dot and then,
So we do.
Tell you what, we're gonna continue this?
Continue.
February.
Have
No,
motion,
we can do this
continue.
week.
Motion to continue.
Second,
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Aye.
Everybody, KP number 128-1887, 122C, Oxford Road.
Yeah, to say hello again, DEP has, just on the comments that, pressing, once again, with the presentation wise, it's bedroom house, well, septic driveway, grading, local grading work. What we're doing with this is we have a work process takes up 395 square feet of wetland cover. But we are proposing a replication area of 580 square feet right next door to it. So we're getting like, if you think about it in a ratio of 1 to. Sure. So then we're proposing the 12-inch pipe in there. 12-inch pipe matrix. According to our wetland. It's gonna go, yes, yeah, you, nice.
Next to
So-
122B.
all the areas that we looked at today,
I have contacted our wetland agent, the conservation, Chuck Harris. And I sent pictures out to him and the location where we took the pictures. And so he didn't get back to me. Yeah. I know I'm kind of preemptively saying it, but I would actually to hear from him. And also, I did address the concerns with the document. And I got everything yesterday and today and all that, so I'm trying to work out everything here. There was a comment about doing a common drive, so we avoid the actual wetland. The client, my client, he's not fond of common drives, which I, in person, I do understand the need. But he would like to avoid the wetland associated. But if we did a common drive over lot B, the only feasible area would be within that 0 to 50 foot. Yeah, of that buffer area, let me say. And doing some quick calculations, that it's gonna go for a length of about 150 feet. And it's gonna disturb about 3,000 square feet of this buffer area, coming to about 15 feet of the actual wetlands.
Yeah.
So I do understand the need to protect the wetlands and so on. But we are referencing the replication area, you know, replacing it.
Yeah.
But bigger impact, if you want to say, to the property if we did a common
And
drive.
is that the narrow part? How wide is that at the narrow part next to the lot of 122B?
I'm gonna have to figure that
It's
out.
not, it's not, it's
Nah,
not 50 feet.
no, it's actually quite smaller than that. So. But other than that, there was a comment about sufficient channelization and all. According, the BBW is extremely flat at the driveway crossing, as I said before, and as per our wetland delineation report prepared on November 9th by Karen Environmental, he only indicated a bank. The only bank identified was along the road edge. He didn't identify any kind of bank in the property. I do know that out on our sidewalk today, there was some little things that came up, and this is what I'm asking him to clarify also, is some of these issues.
We're gonna have an issue because I think me and this consultant are not going to agree.
Where the wetlands are.
Yep, like what happened when I was on maternity leave and then Art came in with that crossing with the cart road. Cause they said there's not a culvert there and you can see the culvert clear as day. Right
Did you
here.
notice in hydrologic collection?
There's definitely a wetland here. That drains down to A26. I believe if there wasn't so much leaf cover, you'd be able to actually see more of the channelization. But even with the leaf cover, you can see all the water stained leaves. You can feel the little pockets of water underneath when you walk. There's like a hole in water here where the house is going. There's a giant depression with what could potentially be a vernal pool right there that's filled with water that could possibly be draining this way. So there might be several connections we're not seeing due to the time of year.
Was there a perk test done down there or? was it
There was perk test done and it came back, believe it or not, came back with no water. And the perk tests were
What
done.
was the rate?
Was it about 30 feet from this pool, literally. And according to our plan, there was no weeping, there was no water level. There was, yeah, refusal at 92 inches. My partner,
No water in the hole.
yeah, no water in the hole. My partner here, actually, he was out with a registered sanitarian.
What was the perk rate?
The perk rate was 7. 7 minutes per inch. They dug 2 of them that were 7 minutes per inch.
Is there a chance, Angela, that standing water could just be sitting on top of the leaves, I mean, not leaching?
No,
No.
what do you mean?
Well, they went 8 feet with no water.
Way in the back.
Different location.
We're gonna continue.
This is
anyway.
like a 8-foot hole that has a whole lot of water in it. That part of the house is
Yeah.
going.
The house is going on the back.
The house will be going in the back.
We have a- Why don't we move on this?
I think this needs to be continued
Yeah.
It's good.
a
We have a
lot,
motion, we have a motion to continue.
a lot longer than 2 weeks.
Okay.
Motion to continue.
For how long?
March, that's what I think for this one. In order to accurately, yep, because it was delineated in a drought and now it's winter. So,
So let's, yeah, all right, let's make that motion to continue to the first week in
Do I have a second?
February, first meeting in
March.
February,
March,
March. Well, that's 5 weeks away.
That, the reason she's saying is because the weather.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
to be able to see,
Yeah, all right, whatever. Any date we want.
Let me just see what day it is, my second week of March.
Okay.
I don't even know if that'll be early enough with
Well,
snow.
we could start, the paint.
Unless you want frost.
Yeah, this winter might not be any frost. Hey, this winter's
This
going.
weather.
I mean, if they wanna expedite the process, then I already see disagreements, so I think maybe an outside consultant if they want to go quicker.
I don't have a problem with that. What was that date?
So either March 8th or March 22nd.
Probably the 22nd because of the weather,
Okay.
unless they want to do an outside consultant.
Yeah, we can, well, we could talk about that, later. Is there any butters that have any?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not, nothing against the houses.
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather see houses go in there because, they have no hunting. And we get it all the time when you hear them shooting the guns at night.
Yeah.
8, 9 o'clock at night. This is like 4 times a week that goes on. But as far as like the water, the wetlands. I have my property in the back, I could step on it in May and I'll sink
Yeah.
into the ground. I can leave my footprints right into it. That's how soft the soil gets
What
in the
problem?
springtime.
what-
That's 140. Oxford Road.
140,
Let's set them up for March,
March
And
22nd. and we'll
see what
discuss
happens.
in
I mean, if you
between.
can come up with something different.
But we definitely will be communicating to them.
Yes, we'll stay in definite communication with this.
What was that
Okay.
date?
March 25th.
We'll continue.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm at
22nd.
141 Oxford Road, Kevin Nugent, across the street. I think I'm diagonal from, it must be 126 going in, next to you, Jeff.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I think it's a lot up on. From where I am, because I think there's a space there still. You're talking 4 houses.
Okay,
4 lots.
well, I was given. a
From
paper
one,
saying
from
I'm gonna-
122.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. from
My
one-
only concern is it's all wet. I've always had problems on the other side of the road. The road is
Okay.
pitched. Any water comes from the road, it ices up. My side of the road is just getting washed out continually. The town, they're dredging it out. I'm just concerned that any wetlands that's affected, how it's gonna affect the flow. And you said earlier, I guess you take a wetland, you replace it with a
Yeah.
wetland.
That's the
So-
one we're.
So that would be, that's how you're allowed to go to wetlands, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I didn't understand.
Typically.
And the stormwater.
Yeah, and that's where I'm with you is I think that the wetland complex is much larger than what's depicted on the
Right.
plan.
It's huge.
Cause I know like maybe a couple of years ago, I think it's 118. They had a big, we got a lot of rain and stuff. They had a big puddle. For a whole week after that, it was just coming down the street. And it was, the sun was out. And the street was soaked, just from water draining off at that time. That was up in that, that's, you know, a few years ago.
I guess my concern is just, these other folks had problems after the fact that was underway. I would hope that to just address before, I mean, you don't do it on purpose.
Oh, right.
I said.
Well,
Someone
yeah.
goes civil on anything.
But yeah, we can address any concerns.
Well, my concern is just to keep the water on that land.
Okay. I can do that.
So this is C, you said
Okay.
322?
Any other comments on the abutters? Motion continues to March, when,
22nd.
22nd?
Motion made.
Second?
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Aye.
carried.
No.
It's a secret.
But we just continued it, so if you are concerned with this one, March 22nd.
Okay, for lot 4B, Oxford, there's no DP number.
Is anyone here for that?
4B.
I thought they asked for.
They already asked for the change.
Oh, they did?
Hi, guys. Is there a street number on it?
Oh, yeah.
It's right by the river. And that's what's triggering all the issues. It's super wet, it's endangered species habitat, it's riverfront,
No, I've hunted in it.
so it's gonna have to do the stormwater. And then the development of this lot is probably gonna cause a hardship for the other lots.
So then, we continue on that one.
I think to what, the 25th? I don't know. if
Motion to
they'll
continue
even-
to 25th.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carried.
Aye.
Request for determination of applicability, Baker Road. 83-A-J-15, the applicant filed an RDA for the removal of 9 trees. 100 feet from the north side.
What's the street number?
83.
It's a parcel, there's no house. There's no house number. The actual property is located on Hartridge Hill Road. The work is being done on Baker. It's confusing. I know the area.
Now, if you say that, these trees are actually dead, it was infested with gypsy.
Yeah, we have 7 acres there, and unfortunately, the piece that's on the water, it's about 1/4 of an acre. And we have, right now, we're counting 32 dead trees from gypsy moth.
And really bad hanging over the lake. I can't get a
That's
truck
near the
in.
Menard property somewhere, huh?
It's near the Wilson property, right beside the Wilson property. So, right beside the Wilsons. But anyway, the trees are overhanging the water. They've been dead for 3 years. They are now starting to disintegrate into fall. It's a threat to the people that use it, my family, but it's also a threat to falling into the water. I can't afford to bring in a tree company to do that. It's very inaccessible. I'm requesting to drop the trees. Unfortunately, the weather's not working in our favor. Climate change is not working in our favor. We were hoping for significant ice cover, so we could drop each tree one at a time, slow hinge, drop it on the ice, clean it up, take it off the ice, rake, leaf blow, whatever it might be to get the sawdust off. That was the easy way, and that's what I was applying for. It now looks, because the weather is against us, I don't think we're gonna get the ice cover, so we may have to wait for drawdown next year.
I really don't want to do drawdown because that's the original site of the quarry. So drawdown means nothing but hundreds and hundreds of rocks. So the work will be a lot more difficult and I'll have a
You
hard.
can't drop them on the shoreline.
No,
If you could see them, they are all, I mean, you know how trees grow on the lakes.
but it still have time, we might get a frozen.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but that's my request is,
You may get some ice, but it might not be enough to
I
drop.
think we can do it in the weekend if we have significant ice cover. Without the significant ice cover, it would be a nightmare. Then I'll definitely be cleaning it up at drawdown.
I'm going to
Cut
have
'em
the
right
same problem with, ice cover.
But we have 30. I'm only asking for 9. The others, and there's a few more that are gonna die. They're further inland. I'll file separately for that, but they won't be a threat to the water. These hang over the water. So my first concern, they drop in the water, it's a threat to the lake, the boaters,
Nope, you got it.
I don't know what else to do.
Is that a shallow area?
No,
No, huh?
no. It's actually very, very deep. It's, when the water goes down, it's nothing but shark's teeth. It's all rock.
Yeah.
You can't walk it. So really the best bet is ice. Without the ice, I'll have to wait for drawdown.
The RDA are free.
Yep.
I myself wouldn't have a problem if the lake was froze.
Yeah.
And what if the
It'll
lake?
freeze.
A different plan. Somebody that can farm. I'm not doing anything. There was a plan.
Ice, our ice. Always draw down from. Dry or frozen, that's what we also. That's what we're requesting.
If you drop them in there dry, can you get a tractor down there to pull them back onto dry land? Are we actually, my son-in-law. Cut them up, slice them, and carry them out. No way getting put in there without doing damage. It's really, it's smart, efficient way to do it. It's not just a lot of work. All right, so the motion.
Motion made.
Negative determination.
I have a second. Second. Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
Violations and enforcement.
Something on the board. John Sanko's chasing down in Walmart. I forgot. I was just right there. Jesus. Anyway, John wants to know. So I'll ask the board. He says, is there any way? Got my fine now? So I don't think there is. But
So, can I ask one? Yeah, so, okay, Eastern for, Forest is in Jocelyn, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we already discussed the Amazon project. Still know how much. 2 seconds, okay. We have to update our open space and recreation plan in 2024. So I did a capital request on the budget based on the scope of work I got from Central Mass Regional Planning Commission that did the 2017. Just so you're aware, you see it at town meeting, yeah, the capital request. We don't do it.
It's not a big bonus. Joe?
It's $17,500. You will need
The board.
a member of the commission to be on it. It covers all open space and recreation areas in town. It's like guidance document in several pages. Mr. Hartwig.
I do, anyway. Okay.
It's just a plan where we survey the public and see what they want and hold visioning sessions where people can put little
We do
stickers
have a
on
lot
them.
of land trust land in town that you can't hunt up. You know, private that was given to the town.
Yeah, the land trust will be part of it. They
That'll
have
be part of
spot. Soul Recreation Committee, but just letting you know, it's going on.
Budget.
The budget, and come July, one of you lucky guys will get to,
Well, I'll be balking at the whole damn budget.
Either Mitch or myself will be there, I'm sure. We're always there.
Okay, so what's this gentleman want?
He would like to address King Jocelyn.
This guy over here?
Yes.
You know him?
Yeah.
Camp Joslin, 128, 1806, requests for full amendment.
Hi, I'm Peter Stackis. I live at 147 Richardson Corner Road. I'm gonna meet a letter to the Jocelyn Camp, which is now owned and operated by the Clara Barton Camp. When they were before the board for the conservation permit, it was the time of the COVID, so I found it difficult to come to a public hearing, but I requested a site plan for what they proposed. The site plan that was proposed, I have some questions about it, but I let it go. Couple of weeks to a month or so later, after the public, I'll get my voice in a minute. After the public hearing,
Pull the mic closer to you, see if that helps.
it's just I'm nervous at the moment. I get going, I get, okay.
Better.
After working with guys like me all these years, you still get nervous?
Yeah,
Public speaking.
public speaking, they should teach it in school. There was an amendment made to it. And the amendment was quite big. I think the amendment should have been another public hearing. The engineer, who is also the town engineer, is the one that's doing all the engineering work. Conservation, septic, planning board.
What was
Graves.
Great.
Graves.
I think it's kind of strange that he's doing this, being the town engineer. You know, he just said just requested that, the changes are minor and that all work would still be in the buffer zone. I don't believe the new work that they wish to do is in the buffer zone. I've been looking at the drawing and I think they didn't include that buffer zone in their first proposal. And if you look at the new drawing that they've got, I don't believe the building they wish to construct can fit in that spot. They're saying that, if you look at the drawing, this new building is gonna be inside the conservation wetland part of the thing. It's, you know, if you take the existing cabin.
Yeah.
The proposed cabin. The recharge area that's needed. Then you're inside. The wetland of the drawing. And I don't think that back part is on the original drawing. I've got it here, I just think the board should review this again.
I'd like to do that. Is that what Angela has now?
Yeah, so the commission approved as a minor amendment, what he's requesting is the commission to request them to come with a full amendment, so he can re-advertise, re-notify the butters, and show the proposed plan, because it appears there will be some change from planning board as well. And that might impact the minor change that.
Are they gonna have immigrants living over there?
That has nothing to do with the.
No, it's a personal question. I'm just asking a question. It's got nothing to do with conservation.
We should not discuss that. We've been told not to discuss that.
Who's been told?
Us.
I was never told.
There was a public notice that went out for the abutters in Oxford.
Yeah.
That they were gonna be allowed.
He's
that
a very good friend of mine.
in Oxford. It is allowed in Oxford.
Yes, Oxford.
Yeah. This is the plan, this is the amendment plan. This building originally was supposed to be over here. They took it out of here and stuck it over here.
Closer to.
That's a wetland.
Getting past my bedtime.
Was a long
I'd
time.
like the board to review the original plan and to look at the revised plan.
Still have,
See how
like,
that, see how that matches up with the original plan?
No, that's the amendment,
Oh, that's the same thing?
he has the original.
I mean, it was minor
He's saying this building
because
is proposed here now, it was over here.
Oh,
Over here now, closer to.
What is changed between what they filed and now it's progressed?
oh, on the regular plan, it was here.
This is the original
the-
plan.
minor amendment that we accepted was the cabin right there. And it got
That's
moved
the
in.
original.
All right, now what is it?
Okay, okay, and now they've put,
Nothing that I've heard.
now they put the cabin back here.
That's what they submitted to the planning board.
No.
This is
plan.
what was approved by planning.
That's what they've, this is what they,
Was this approved by planning?
no, they haven't.
They never went
Okay,
in
they
front
haven't
of the
gone to-
planning board.
They haven't gone to planning board yet.
Oh,
I don't think didn't they not go to planning board for anything here?
Correct,
Correct.
and that's
You
what.
would-
the-
They haven't had a public hearing yet. You look at this
they
cabin,
sent out the notices though, right?
their engineer at the 9 o'clock hour said,
And Graves is doing this.
Graves is doing it. He said, I lost my voice. We need to postpone the public
Continue.
hearing tonight for an extension, and it's gonna be February 1st. But the new plan that's been approved by this board shows the cabin over here.
Cause my granddaughter got a notice.
Yeah,
Is that the planning board plan?
no,
No.
this is the conservation.
That's ours.
board.
Okay. What is the planning board plan? It's just moving the one cabin, correct?
No, it's to design all three. It's to design 3 new cabins.
Yeah.
A whole new septic system.
Yeah.
And cabin number 4 up here.
And that's staying there.
That's an existing building.
Yeah.
That's gonna have an addition to it. And bathrooms.
Okay.
My concern is,
This one moving here.
Yep.
It's closer.
this is 1 inch for 30. 1 inch equals 30 feet. If you figure this to this, it comes out to 105 feet to the middle of the wetland. 105 feet.
Wait, what?
This is the driveway. Yes. Okay.
You're saying that the cabin's gonna be 105 feet in the wetland?
No.
Oh.
I'm saying the cabin is gonna be the storm water management for that roof is gonna be in the wetlands. There's not enough space. You take a rule and go from here to this point.
Yeah.
It's 3.5 inches. Okay, which comes to 105 feet. By the time you take, you bring the new building like 20 feet away from this,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you add that building, which is 60 feet long. That building,
That takes you down to about,
60, 70, 80, and then you got 10 feet for the stormwater thing, and then you got another 20 feet for the width of it, you're in the wetlands.
this building, this roof is gonna be subject to stormwater.
Yes.
It's in the-
And they don't show the stormwater on the.
Where are you seeing a roof?
This building here. The one that got moved up here.
Yeah, but where are you seeing that? It's going,
Here.
This is the,
Are you here for this? This one
The
here?
roof has nothing.
this is the wetland.
Yeah.
And this is. The
the
cabin that's
roof
staying.
recharge system is right here.
Yep,
Which is still on the other side of the road away from the wetland.
I believe if you take a ruler and measure it, it's gonna be in the wetlands, the recharge.
Like on site,
I'm,
Because if this map is correct, I can see that, and this is the recharge, it's not in the wetland.
yeah, it's
gonna
not
be-
in either
gonna be-
wetland.
That's where they moved it.
it's gonna be.
It was
right
down here.
Next to, it's gonna be right next to the wetlands.
Like, it's gonna have to cross the road.
No. That's a dirt gravel driveway.
Why don't you go look on this plan?
That's a dirt drive, that's a dirt. Gravel drive.
See, this is just gravel dirt driveway. This is the original plan that you guys approved.
Okay, this is the original.
Original. That's the amendment. The amendment shows the new cabin right here.
And this one being relocated.
That's coming out and going over here. If you take a ruler and measure from this, which is your wetland, to here, it's 105 feet. It's 3.5 inches.
So, and the second, okay, well,
So by the time you,
what's the distance from here to here? It's 2 inches. Roughly,
well, it's 3 altogether.
it's all together, but the building's going.
Yeah. Well, they're showing a 60-foot building, okay?
Yeah.
And they're saying they're gonna put 22 beds in it.
Is it single floor, 2 floors?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Well, Kurt will know.
So I mean, from there to there is still a significant distance.
It's not to scale. There's the building. From that
What
building to that building. There's gotta be at least 20 feet,
So then,
20, and then 60 for the building.
this isn't a conservation issue, this is a engineering issue that,
It's all woods now. And all the trees have to come out.
Yeah.
All these trees have to come out for this site to be used as a camper cabin. And now I'm concerned about the
And run off to
runoff to the
the
pond.
pond. Bit of information. My class ring is in the pond.
Yes, right there by the wolf.
No, it's in the, we were swimming.
Yeah.
My wife was my girlfriend then, had it on a chain.
Yeah.
And it come off at the beach area.
Yeah.
So
We never. found it.
what's the, we're worried about runoff from the cabin getting into the
Wetlands.
wetland, is that what you're saying?
Historically
Or down to
sloping
the
area.
pond.
I'm concerned that the future cabin is not properly designed for that area.
so that's planning board thing.
And the building and conservation. If this building comes closer to this wetland, that's my concern.
Well, in their permit, it's gotta say where the cabin from the wetland, correct?
Yeah,
We haven't approved this plan yet, have we?
Yeah.
yes,
Because
It's been approved.
It was a minor amendment, because all they did was just,
So all this stuff will become before us down the road, right?
no,
they
they
approved it.
approved it in over a year ago.
But they neglected to tell us that they had moved this building closer to the wetland, and we missed it, right?
No, they still are maintaining the same setbacks.
He came to the board and asked for an amendment to move cabin 1 to over here.
Yeah.
This is not within a wetland, this is not within the hay bale setback over here. This original plan shows no silt fences in here.
But it shows silt fences in here now.
That's the amendment.
Yeah.
And this whole section is gonna be de-treed. All them trees are coming out.
So what you're saying, are there, how close to the water will the trees be coming up?
Right down to the water, I would assume.
No.
I mean, not to the water,
25
but to the wetland.
25 feet,
You're not gonna get it. You
then they'll be in violation
That's right.
and it'll be stopped.
You take a 6.
Can we get clarification from Graves on this, Angela?
The relocated cabin is in the buffer zone and it will be greater than 25 feet.
You can't take 25 feet and add all those numbers together. It comes out to 135 feet. You add all the numbers up. Graves needs to give a better clarification. For what?
Well, let's ask them for clarification.
We approved over
We
a
already
year ago.
approved.
And this has never been brought to anybody's attention until the planning board got their public hearing. The public has really never seen any of this until
When is planning board supposed to see all this?
February
February 1st.
Do they know about this problem?
Nope.
And so it'll come back to us again after February, right?
No, we already approved the minor amendment a year ago and issued the order of conditions for the site.
So we're talking past each other, because I
4
think you're
years
saying,
ago.
we have a plan that we approved, where they're not gonna be able to put that cabin right next to the wetland.
Yep.
So if we go there and they're getting next to the wetland, they'll get an enforcement order and say, no, you can't do it, and they'll have to stop doing the work.
I mean, even before they start the work,
It's all
They're-
started. They've already cleared the land. And they've demoed 6 of the cabins, 7 of the cabins.
so then they're in violation because they never
Have they
contacted
got a
us.
building permit?
No,
I did go for a site inspection for the,
There's current now?
erosion control.
Oh.
And what does he
when
say?
did you do that?
we'll wait and
You
see
were
if the
still here.
hearings.
Or maybe when you're out. No, you're still here.
Kind of late at that point.
Erosion control.
They've already installed,
I saw the
portion of the
videos,
septic
everything in
systems.
place.
they've
Or is
already
it 25
done a
feet from the
total land
wetland?
clearing of all these trees.
It was really close to the
everything.
water.
Have they got
I can
any
imagine.
board of health inspections yet?
I believe they have.
I can look at my notes.
And Kurt doesn't care about a building permit right now.
Not right at the moment.
Plan.
I've asked
It
him
was-
about it.
He did a
And he
little
goes,
change
haven't applied
instead
for a
of
building
going.
permit yet.
around
They haven't
trees,
applied.
Haven't applied.
Past the
It's his
plane,
duty to stop work
he
order.
went around.
I've been trying
But
to,
if there was a map.
Wouldn't you think so?
We
Yeah.
talked
I
about
mean,
it for-
if I was plumbing down there and you was coming down to see if I had a permit, you'd stop me.
So you want us to stop work?
I want somebody to re-examine
Well,
this.
If they're working and they haven't notified us, absolutely.
No, Rose just
No,
said she.
I went for erosion control inspection, not for
Demolition permit.
not for anything else. I didn't know the work had started.
No building permit posted anywhere?
They never filed. For a building permit or a demo permit.
Yeah,
I didn't know the work had started. I
That
only.
used to be a
I
hell of a
only
nice
inspected
place.
erosion
It was.
control.
it was run by a great organization.
Would that be a building inspector issue?
Oh, yes,
He's on vacation.
yeah, but he's aware of it. Everybody was talking.
Yeah, I guess they,
They actually, the first public hearing was supposed to be last week. It got postponed.
because they realized they couldn't hold a hearing in the planning board. They're gonna, February 1st is gonna be down in the senior center. They're
Because
expecting
of
a
the
large
number
crowd.
of people.
Can't we contend we found an error? Even if it was our error, conservation board to make errors, right? I made an error one time.
I think this should be really
So
reviewed.
then you are questioning the integrity of the engineer and his stamp by essentially
The
saying
engine, this
He
conservation board, this conservation
falsified-
board.
Right.
Questions the integrity of engineers stamps all the time.
I think what
Oh
Peter
my
is
God, you
asking,
do the complete opposite and you say the engineer said it's not a wetland, so we're
No,
great.
no,
You
I'm
do
not saying, I'm not saying just the opposite. You're misinterpreting me.
so I think.
I
what-
don't think I am.
I think
I
what
think you
Peter,
are.
I think.
I'm
what-
sorry.
I think,
I
what-
could be tired, but
I think what Peter
I
is
think there's
asking,
been a million times
I
where
think
you
there's gotta be
said.
a way we can address that building.
I think what Peter is asking is to
I
instead,
don't agree.
instead
I
of.
don't agree.
What do you not agree with, Ron?
Let me just say this, like, we issued a minor amendment, we never amended the order of conditions. We never did, because it was issued, just put a letter.
Yeah.
Because it was
That's
minor,
correct.
so what
correct.
Peter's saying is,
It's not a minor.
It's not a
it's
minor.
not a
adjustment.
minor, and could we request a full amendment instead, because once you request that, he'll come forward with the revised plan, he'll notify the butters, and then it's open for discussion. Otherwise, you can't request him for clarification, it's something that has already been approved. It has to be in front of the board. You cannot go to him now and say, I need clarification just because you're already approved.
I don't know
That's
if we
correct.
can ask him to file.
But I don't know either if you can ask to file for. a full
Because you
amendment.
guys voted unanimously to accept it as a minor amendment.
Yeah.
Unless we can prove that he's
That is
violating
correct.
the order.
Which would wait until planning board review. And if his planning board plan is different or come up with a change, they will be mandated to come in front of us.
Yeah, so if planning board makes him make one little change, that
Then you
is
request.
that is when we can request a full amendment. But at this point in time, we
No.
cannot go back and tell him he has to do a full amendment. Until
That is
planning
correct. That is
says,
correct.
you know, do this or do that.
Is
Cause it
it
appears
asking too
there'll
much
be change with stormwater,
to just have
and
Yeah.
that's the way
That
we have
line
it open, because right now.
drawn clear? No. Have this
Can you
one
imagine
drawn
if
clear,
we do that ever?
because I don't
You
see
mean-
no
mean-
hay
2
bills
months later.
on this one. There's no hay bills on
Cause
this,
this is.
Well, there
the-
probably wouldn't be because there's no building here.
Yeah,
correct.
they're right
Not a
here.
problem. It's not a problem.
They wouldn't be, well, there should be some hay bills here somewhere.
There's,
Oh,
they're,
here,
they're right there,
yeah, right here.
because they're gonna be tying the sewer line back in.
Yeah, so they weren't
That's-
needed, they weren't needed out here at that time.
Correct.
Yeah,
They weren't
But,
but
needed.
they are there now.
You can go
Yeah.
home and Zoom.
We hope they're there.
Rose just said she checked it.
I checked erosion control,
On the
But-
original plan,
yes.
But not on the new plan. Well,
Well, it was,
Yeah.
the amendment didn't change the erosion control, did it?
yeah,
yeah, it does.
yeah. it does.
In this area with this cabin that he's talking about,
When did they
Drastically.
fight for the amendment?
last February.
No, September 22nd. You gave the minor amendment.
Of 21.
Yes, so yes, I checked the erosion control. The
Yeah,
erosion
like I
control.
said, that was well over a year ago.
Yeah, no, I already did the erosion control. I just did not ever have any pre-activity meeting because I didn't know they had started the project. That's all I want to tell you.
There's,
And the letter says the commission voted unanimously, correct?
Correct. Right.
Yes.
And like I said, yeah, that was well over a year ago.
Alright, so from what I understand, until they go to floor planning board and say what they're gonna do, our hands are kind of tied.
Yep,
It still doesn't make it right, that's all.
doesn't make what right.
If you,
what he's talking about.
if you take a 60-foot building and they're putting 22 beds in it, they're gonna put bathrooms in it. You can't put 22 beds in a 60-foot building. The building has to be 65 feet.
You know, well, that's Chris.
Because you,
That's nothing to do with conservation.
I know, but I'm just saying the building could be bigger. Is what I'm saying.
Well, it could be, we don't have anything to base that on now.
Right, we have nothing to base.
Is there a dimension on that, Bill? I can't see that.
Well, if they put a bigger building in, they didn't come for another amendment. You can address that then.
I mean, could they be bunk beds?
No, there's an occupancy permit for square foot.
Yeah.
There's a
What is
minute for
that?
500.
You have to have so many.
I mean,
square
you
feet.
could fit 22 beds in there if you did bunk beds, cause that would only be 11 beds,
That's
right?
not our problem.
That's not our problem. That's correct when the time comes, but
Right.
I just wanted to know if there was a way of just asking Graves to draw this better to scale so that we have it to scale. 'Cause it's
They will
not-
have to do that
For planning.
for planning board.
That's right.
Okay,
And I will review the site plan and planning board to our minor amendment and make sure that they are exactly the same. And if they're not,
Can we get this blown up to a scale? Right size?
planning board probably has it.
Planning board has it.
They do.
Mhm.
What is the scale in that?
1 inch.
1 inch to 30?
We'll be here to midnight.
If they go to the next, I guess, I don't know how that would.
So that's the hay bales.
That's the hay bales on this plan, right here?
Could be. Yeah, no.
Sir, are you, sir?
Yeah.
Are you waiting for, something we have on the agenda?
We need to vote for an extension.
I'm here for an extension. The last, one of the last items on the agenda.
It's right there.
Let's give an automatic.
Let's get them out of here. Let's get this stupid.
Let's give an automatic.
We're also waiting on the phone here too.
Yeah,
There's several other people,
I'd like to get done before the sun. comes up.
there's several other people still on.
Let's see if we can get a blown up
That's
plan of
yours?
that.
I feel your pain right now.
No, I-
I
The
feel your
original
pain.
from-
I saw the agenda, frankly, and I knew it was gonna give a while.
Well, even by our standards, this is.
Can I have my small one back?
I'm there, but
Oh, did I just
We don't need any-
scribble all over it?
It doesn't matter as long as I have one.
As long as he gets one of them. What'd you say, Scott?
Okay, there's your small one. I didn't scribble on it.
Okay.
No,
No,
gotta go
no,
for the planning board.
I'd just like to get a bigger plan, if we can get one from planning. Okay,
We do the extensions.
we'll get it
Thank
worked
you.
out, Peter.
All right, thank you.
Okay. And what's his,
Which is,
Zero North.
what's your address?
Sturbridge Road.
0 North Sturbridge Road is mine.
We have a problem with the extension.
not, 0 North Sturbridge Road?
That's
Yeah.
correct.
When are we extending it to though?
3 years until 26th of March, 2026 in my request. It expires according to its terms, March 12th, 2023.
I did the calculation with COVID, so take a look at the data, put it there. I can change the date.
That's a determination. That's the minutes. You get longer time because of COVID.
Yeah,
Did you
you
do
get
the
longer.
COVID thing?
Actually, the COVID was applied to it because it already would have expired if we didn't
Yeah.
have the extension under COVID.
Yeah.
So I actually did
3/12/2026,
check.
right? Is that what we said?
26, that's what I have.
March 12th, 2026, that's correct. If you want me to go into detail for the reasons, I
No.
will, but I'm
No.
happy to pass that.
You're building a solar field.
Do it. Approved. Yay.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
So 3,
Made and seconded, all in favor?
Triple, quadruple.
Approved?
Wonderful.
Sorry.
Thanks for your patience.
wait, was anyone for that?
We're normally not this late.
Yeah,
So
We're normally not this
Was
late.
anyone for that?
No.
Going once,
Alright.
going twice.
Is anyone here for Partridge Hill?
Thank you.
Partridge Hill Extension.
I didn't get through.
No.
No,
Alright, so extend Partridge Hill. To 12/25/25.
Need the motion?
make a motion to extend Partridge Hill.
Can you?
Second, you have a second?
Second.
Where are you
Motion
going?
made.
Get
Get it,
a drink.
Yeah, don't leave yet.
Nothing in there.
Get in your office.
Shit out of line.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Next. Next.
We can't do anything till he gets back, cause he
That's
just killed
okay.
our quorum.
So why don't we start listening to whoever is on TV on the?
This is for
Hold on,
sunset.
hold on. The other Partridge Hill,
Yep. Same thing.
12/25/25. They're all 3 years, right?
Yes.
Alright,
So add.
so we'll,
Much, but we can't vote on it until
Oh, yeah, because he left.
Mitch,
Ron can make a motion.
I'll make a motion to extend it. We'll vote when Mitch gets back.
There you go. Ron, do you have a second?
Second. Second.
Motion seconded, all in favor?
Can't skip-
Not yet.
Well,
We
we get
gotta-
vote, that'd be 3 votes.
We had to have a quorum
That's
to
four.
vote.
Yeah.
Oh, that's only three. Huh?
I gotta.
We just gotta go over whoever is on the.
That's his first.
No, we have to finish these other requests for extensions and minor amendments for people who have been waiting since November.
I know, but I'm saying, can we release these people there
There you
on
go,
call and we
sunset.
can do our business that?
Do you know how long that's gonna take?
Okay.
I know two of these
just
people
hate
are on
that
here
it
for
should be
Sunset Drive. Stormwater.
Yeah, I know.
I object.
Okay,
She
All
just
right.
vote.
just say
Vote,
aye.
Yeah, aye.
Are we done?
We're doing
No,
extension. We're not,
still
it's-
on-
we're gonna be here till sunrise.
And you're gonna be here till sunrise.
Alright. I need a motion to lift the enforcement order for Harrington Road.
Hmm.
It was like 2 years ago. When the guy drove and dug perk holes in the wetland, they fixed it.
That was down towards South Pitchmore.
No, it's literally like right across the street from where all these people are,
Oh, yeah?
where it's all super wet.
Where he's all set.
Yeah. And he has put caution tape all around his property so people can't go in.
Motion to
We have a
lift,
motion. Do I have a
motion to
second?
lift the.
Motion made,
enforcement.
seconded, all in favor?
Aye,
Wait, Mitch,
Aye.
And add.
okay.
Oh, don't use my name.
Request for removal property chapter 61,
Where's that?
Jennings.
Brookfield Road, Jennings.
He wants to remove it
Yeah,
on Brookfield Road?
yeah. And cut out house lots. Isn't he like doing an A&R? Let's tell him he gotta do stormwater.
I don't know if he's doing it.
Well, you can't take a break because we have to vote on
He
this.
needs to
Well, if we go,
be right back. It's almost 10.
I know, and I have to go pick up 2 children that I said I was gonna pick up at 10.
You can't keep.
How far you have to go?
I live in freaking
Fountain City?
Chicopee. I
Huh?
live in Chicopee.
Chicopee.
Yeah. And I gotta
Better
go
hurry up.
one kid up Brimfield, so I can't even get on the Pike and Sturbridge.
And there's no planes going that way. And this is one of our later meetings, huh?
anything was set in the record.
Hey, you guys are talking too much.
Hey, call Maxine, tell her I'm still here. You think I'm all getting drunk or something? Haven't done that in 40 years.
Okay,
Okay, right, so what are we doing? Wait for Skip. Did we vote yet on Jennings?
No, this is actually a five lot A and R.
Oh, see, we need to request stormwater right away before we run into the same problems.
I'll bet he don't know that.
I don't see the fifth lot though.
He'll go 8.
That's what's confusing me. I see lot 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Well, it still triggers stormwater.
And
He's
then
saying five?
says shown as lots 1 through 5.
I'll note, I will clarify. They're both lots.
Basically, we're asking the vote to change this from open space to developable land. Is that what it is?
I wonder how Peter happened to
It's
notice
not-
that, or how long ago he noticed that.
Last week he came to me. Everybody started coming to planning board because they start demolition. There was no,
That's the first time, Peter's been in town for 40 years, probably. He was the director at Camp Fosk, at Camp Button, Claire Button.
yeah, he told me the Barton.
It was Claire,
for
it
that.
was Jocelyn Camp,
Yeah.
diabetic camp. Yeah, yeah. No, my class ring is in that pond. That upsets me.
Ready, Skip?
We're almost there.
Okay, let's get this. Expedite.
All right, remove chapter land. So the motion will be to not exercise the right of first refusal.
Do we have a second?
Second.
No,
Motion made,
I can't
seconded.
make.
I wanted to see if you
motion.
catch that.
I made the motion.
He makes a motion, I second.
All right.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Did you oppose it or are you just on a delay?
He's on the way.
He's on a delay.
All right, really quick, Route
Not-
20, minor amendment, this came in end of November, we haven't had a meeting. They wanna do borings within the limit of work, but some of them are in wetlands. So
How much
do we
boring they doing?
wanna accept it as a minor plan change, or do we want them to file a RDA or amend their whole order of conditions?
Let's accept it as a minor change. I mean, they're gonna do
Yeah,
it anyway.
What is it, just a board?
You're gonna do it anyway.
There's like 6 or 8 borings.
Make a motion to make a minor amendment.
And I think at this point, unfortunately,
It's already
if
done.
if we made them file, we could never issue them a permit because Robert's gone. Because Ron and Tom can't be part of this.
All right.
All right, minor amendment.
Make a motion.
I'm gonna dig the holes anyway.
That's boring on
Motion made,
20.
seconded,
Yeah,
all in
Second,
favor?
yeah.
Opposed?
Aye,
Ron, you
Motion
can't,
carried.
no Ron in this
Ron.
one.
thank you,
aye.
Mitch. and-
Okay. Did we do Sunset Drive?
Sunset Drive runoff, was that,
Stormwater. runoff.
They're all on there. My last little thing, LNG is gonna dump 1 million gallons of water into Katy Brook.
1 million
LNG.
gallons of water. What, is that tank full of water?
They're gonna fill it full of water and then dump it into Katy Brook.
It's a test,
Yeah.
to make sure it doesn't leak.
How are we gonna do? It's
to
going
be a
to,
controlled,
did they let Salvage know to see if Salvage could handle that?
They're giving the water to them,
Yeah,
South.
and it's
No,
gonna be,
no, no,
it's
they're
gonna be,
taking the water from Southbridge.
it's going into Katy Brook.
but
then-
they'll do it in a controlled.
Then the power plant pumps it
area,
back
right?
to cool their turbines from Southbridge. It's all the same conglomerate.
Yeah, I just let you know, cause it's 1 million gallons and I told them to file an RDA, so they'll be at our next meeting.
I mean, it's
All right.
probably gonna be it's not gonna be a splasher. It's gonna be a very slow release, I'm sure.
Not the way they wanna do it.
Oh,
How they wanna do it?
Like, they want it done in 2 days, which would be the equivalent of,
of a stormwater, of a flood.
yeah.
2 year, well,
Cause
No, 10 years.
we've done the same thing at Glen Echo. When we've had to drop the water, when we've had storm runoff and rain all at the same time, we've opened up the gate.
They've let Southbridge know, right?
Yeah. And we used to notify the
Downstream.
the driving range. Because it washed all their balls away.
Do you do anything with
I'll
this?
tell you, I almost got washed out there a couple of times at the.
Sturbridge Road.
Yeah, Sturbridge, for
Yeah, we
Sturbridge
washed all
Road,
their balls down.
Focus, focus.
Don't ask.
Forest Sturbridge Road, yes.
they are changing the plans to combine the wetland replication area.
So they need to file for an amendment.
And they don't
That's not
want
Buddy
to
Ralph.
file.
Yeah. So remember when they did the violation with the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, should I cancel?
Yeah,
They had the violation with the wall. When he put the wall into the wetlands.
Yep,
So his plans showed two different replication area.
yep.
Now he doesn't want to replicate in two different places. He wants to replicate in one.
One area.
So we're requesting for him to file a full amendment, so we have the plans showing just one area and all of us are notified, and then we have a revised plan altogether.
Do you need a motion for that?
but didn't he want a minor amendment?
No,
Oh, just make a
Did he ask?
motion,
no.
I don't know, just make a motion then to require. a
That
full-
we accept that for them to file for a full
Correct.
Motion for, for Sturbridge Road to file for,
amendment, a full amendment.
full amendment.
To,
Second.
Made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Now, can we please get the sunset right?
Yep,
These extensions, are they automatic extensions?
we just
we,
voted.
we already did
Oh, you
that.
did that when I was out.
Well, we heard you say aye when you came in to finish
You
up.
said aye when you came back.
Okay, hi. Are we on Sunset?
I think so, maybe, hopefully.
Ron, tell us, you're out playing tonight.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot here. Yeah, I had sent some pictures to Rose. I don't know if those made the rounds. I could share my screen. Awesome. That was just recent photos after a small freeze, but there's an enormous amount of runoff at the end of Sunset that is going down the road, and the road is pitched towards my property, and all of the street runoff goes down my driveway, down the boat ramp, and directly into the lake. It is huge, huge runoff. The road is pitched incorrectly, and there's runoff from one of the driveways that,
That's what I used to get before I put my stuff in down the lake.
yeah, that accounts for a lot of the water. So there's no proper drainage. It's causes obviously an issue with the runoff going into the lake, but also safety issues as it freezes. As it melts, freezes, we get 2 to 3 inches of ice in front of the Howard's house on the street. Very dangerous. Trash trucks have refused to come down. If emergency vehicles, God forbid, have to come down, there's no way they're getting down there or getting out, especially since there's not a turnaround at the end of the street.
Town? Oh, this driveway here.
Yeah, so it's a
Slope
concern.
across the street is real steep.
Yeah.
Sheets across that, goes down the street.
There's no catch basin up there, but that, wow.
This is at the beach.
No, it's down
No,
where
it's
my
at the end of
Seaboat
the-
is, where my in-laws live. It's between your house and
Has that ever happened before?
at the end of Sunset, 230.
How long has it been happening, Cameron?
I've only lived here 1.5 years, so I don't have the history. I got a history from Mike Ennis, who lives across the street with that steep driveway. It's been worse over the past couple of years. I think the DPW did something to try to pitch the water into the storm drain, but it had the opposite effect, and now it's making the problem worse.
This is Jackie. That's been going on for years.
Okay.
When my
good, thanks.
parents owned the house, when the DiGregorios lived there, that water runoff comes down that road and takes that left-hand turn down to the driveway and goes right into the lake. It's been happening for a very, very long time.
Thanks, Jackie.
You're welcome.
Is it, a private road?
No, Sunset is not a private road.
So then we could have asked DPW to,
Yeah, why don't you talk to Jerry for us?
no. I'm
Who's
gonna-
retiring? Yeah, that won't help.
I'm gonna write another letter and have Tom sign
Hey,
it.
how's Blood Road doing?
Rose hasn't, we haven't sent the letter yet because.
Oh,
Tom
you're afraid to
hasn't-
send it?
No, he's aware of it. I told him. It's just we haven't had the meeting for Tom to sign the official letter. The letter is here today, but he's not here.
There's some water in there now.
So on this one here, on the 31 side, you drive down Sunset, on your right facing 31. You get a bunch of land, it's probably like a 2.5 or 1 slope, 3 to 1 slope.
Oh, it's steep up there.
It's steep, comes down the driveways, hits Sunset, and the way they've got it pitched, and it just turns a tile right towards the lake, and that road between the 2 houses is just paved down the lake, and it's probably like a 7-degree, 8-degree grade.
The water rushes right.
Nothing catches that water.
Sounds good, there's gonna be, yeah. I don't know if there is any drainage street, are there any catch basins here?
Nothing that catches anything.
Yeah, nothing that works. There's one at the end of one of the driveways, but after that, there's nothing.
I saw the picture.
They gotta sign all the things.
Well,
If they put a pipe or something like that, and they'd have to have an ending out here.
You can go.
Right.
They can
The
sign.
You
ideal
couldn't
way-
just have it
well,
dumped to the side.
Yeah, the ideal way is the last lot, which is where my in-laws used to live. And then Mr. Ennis lives up the hill. There's a wooded area with like a,
It hurts.
I don't even call it a stream.
I don't
Culvert. The
know.
water should dump out into there.
Like I
And then
should
that way
have
you
done
have
it
about
like
40,
an hour
50
and a
feet of
half
actual wetland to slow it
I'm
down.
probably being
And then
recorded
that's what should
saying this. That's why I'm sitting.
it shouldn't be out in the road.
But it doesn't, it goes right down.
Angela's gonna talk to Jerry.
No roses, Tom is.
I'll talk to Jerry.
But
I
Put your-
literally spent an hour
Rose,
trying
put
to.
your biggest smile on.
Hurt.
we
culvert.
literally, I mean.
So what is the issue though? Is that a culvert? Is
86.
what, I just need more
No,
information
36
on where it's coming from.
So what are we telling them? That we're gonna talk to DPW?
What are we?
We have anyone, we have anything else to come before the board?
We
We
have,
have any other meetings to come before the board?
we have,
So I know that you have,
I hate. that.
copied Jerry on our email, correct? Cameron?
Sorry, Rose, I
Yeah.
had trouble hearing you.
Yeah.
Did you ask if I talked to Jerry? He was, all I did was send the email that had the 3 names on it.
Correct,
So
and he
you're the only
has-
one.
Yeah, he has not,
respond.
He's busy.
responded. So what I think the commission has agreed is trying to approach him regarding the issue and maybe going over there with him to look into the possibility or any change, but as the commission, we can't promise that because it has to be coming from DPW, I believe, although it is a stormwater issue though.
Some car could slide over the embankment there
Yeah.
and end up in the
Well,
lake.
that's a stormwater.
This is always stormwater though, so the
Right.
commission has the
The authority.
the authority to rule, so why don't you make a motion? And tell me what you want me to do?
Okay, have Ed make the motion. I made the last motion. He's still mad at me.
Make a motion that we present the issue to DPW and tell us by like.
And I'll second that.
Stormwater management, and we gotta comply with stormwater management.
Okay, so I will approach Jerry, if not tomorrow, next week. We're closed on Monday for the holiday. And I'll follow up with you to see what his response is.
Okay, and will we be added to an agenda in the future? Or will this just be handled offline?
I guess it'll depend on his response,
Or his mood.
so
Okay.
I will keep you posted and depending on his response, and if we have to add it back to the agenda, we will contact you. So the
Okay.
commission should bring it to Jerry's attention. And see if he can go over there and we can look at it since it's a stormwater related and we have the authority.
Okay.
And go from there.
So what was the motion?
I'm lost.
Killing me. We're gonna send a letter to the DPW stating that they gotta comply with the stormwater management regs that we have in town.
Motion made and seconded,
Yes,
all in favor,
yes, aye.
opposed?
Aye.
Okay.
Does that water comes off
Thank you,
private
Cameron.
property?
Yeah, it comes down a driveway.
Well, it goes across Sunset
Well, yeah,
and then it goes on.
but it comes off that wooded area up top, right behind that house.
The initial start of the water is first someone run off on 31. Then
I'm
it goes to
sorry,
William Lodge.
Cameron,
Then it
I
goes down to
just looked
Sunset.
at your message right now.
That's all right, no problem.
I'm sorry.
Hey, how's
Yeah, he should have. Right? That was a public inquiry.
But didn't you put it on the agenda?
I did, but I thought you'd be here. I don't know why I thought of that.
how is Tom doing? Has anybody seen him? Is he feeling all right?
No, he's been sick for 5 weeks. Wait, motion adjourn. Any other business?
Yeah, do we have business?
Anybody
I'll
on
follow
there?
up with you, Cameron. Who is
Who is
Allison?
Allison Howard?
She lives
She was.
2 houses from where this starts.
Okay,
She gets
and
back
that's
to her.
wifey and that's Ron.
Motion to
All right.
adjourn.
Right,
Good night.
Thank you.
okay.